Real Fun Beach Radio is commercial-free all summer and gives you that toes in the sand beach music vibe 24/7. I'm picking up good vibrations. Sweet home Alabama all summer long. Just open the free iHeart app, search Real Fun Beach Radio, and start listening. iHeart Radio. Free never sounded so good.
Saturday, June 1st, the Cold Mountain Music.
All right, this is the last one. 30 seconds.
Logan,
10-4.
just outside Canton. This year's lineup features Grizzly Goat, Two Bob Crew, Darren Nicholson, and a whole lot more. It's family-friendly waterfront activities, food trucks, and local vendors, and local craft beer and wine. Plus a Friday night pre-party for campers and cabin guests.
This is Darren Nicholson, and I can't wait to see you at the Cold Mountain Music Festival.
For more information and to get your
powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh, my God. The Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, and we are seen everywhere on the YouTubes. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. Join us in the chat. I'm live in the Ingalls studio. Jeremy's live at Mullet Manor, and we are ready to begin the summer scouting season.
Can we get it out of the way of the things we won't be talking about today? We will not be talking about Bronny James staying in the NBA draft. We will not be talking about the Donald Trump trial. We will not be talking about the Louisville Police Department. Basically anything that Twitter's talking about, we're going to pass.
Oh, no. Did something happen with Scotty Scheffler?
Well, you know, I mean,
anything new that we need to know about?
DTG.
Officially
don't trust the government. It's pretty simple.
I'm saying that, like, did he officially get charged or something? Or
I don't know. I just looked at the top 3 things on Twitter and went, I don't want to talk about any of that.
No.
I don't even want to acknowledge it, really.
Well, it's weird that Scotty Scheffler's at the top of yours because I just clicked on mine and Scott Baio's number 1. But that can't be good.
I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that if you ever needed a great explanation of the difference between me and Tank, the top of my Twitter timeline, Scotty Scheffler, his is Scott Baio.
I don't know why, but apparently Scott Baio's trending right now.
Yeah, it's Scott Baio in your Sportsocracy 2024 bingo card. Yep. That's bingo.
Yes, indeed. Welcome into the program here on ESPN Asheville. The football season is right around the corner. I'm going to keep saying it because, I mean, it's just that's the push. We all need football back in our lives.
I mean, I have football on the television in my office, and it won't come down until, well, I mean, probably ever, but until at least May of next year.
Yes, indeed. We are going to begin the summer scouting period here today. We are going to start diving into some position rankings for the 2025 NFL draft class. Going into this next college football season, all the guys that you need to be watching that your NFL team could possibly take in the next draft, and we're going to break these down position by position as we do here in the Sportsocracy. Today we're going to talk about pass rushers in this upcoming class. Jeremy will give us his initial takes, what to watch for them with them throughout the NFL season, and what possibly teams are going to be having them on their radar.
Well, I mean, we don't have enough coworkers to list off which ones we would have at a barbecue at our house. So,
shots fired. But we'll do that in the next hour. We want to talk quarterbacks first.
No doubt.
NFL. Top 13 quarterbacks in the NFL. We've done this list so many times, so we're throwing a spin on it. This is going to be quarterback rooms.
Well, I mean, we've done top 13 quarterbacks to death. Hey, breaking news. Pat Mahomes is 1. Josh Allen's 2. Joe Burrow's 3. And then the rest of it, you can kind of figure out from there. Lamar Jackson's probably 4, and on and on.
Yes.
That's not really what we're talking about. I obviously am very sympathetic to the plight of losing your quarterback because my team did it last year, and my season was like, I don't know, summertime in Canada. Hey, it's summertime. Oh, it's snowing again. Best summer ever. I lost my virginity. Woo! That was football season for me last year. It's a Family Guy bit if you're curious where that came from.
Yes, nice. Top 13 quarterback rooms in the NFL for 2024. It all starts in Kansas City.
It doesn't for me.
Really?
No, I mean, look, Pat Mahomes.
I can't put anybody above Patrick Mahomes. I don't care who your backup quarterback is.
Well, but that's the point. Is if Pat Mahomes goes down, how good do you feel about Carson Wentz? And now look, I have them in my top 3, but they're not my number 1.
Carson Wentz by himself would not thrill me. Carson Wentz with Andy Reid, I'm not terrified.
You should be. Mainly because Carson Wentz is, at this point, I'm not even sure he's a real person. I think we made a Carson Wentz ginger facsimile and made him out of popsicle sticks.
Would he be on this team if he couldn't? Would Andy Reid bring a guy in that he didn't think could at least float the boat?
Well, you got to remember that there is money involved. So you kind of had to bring in who you could afford because Kansas City, the old purse strings are a little tight. They're like the buttons on a Tank Spencer button-up shirt circa 2016. Bad boys are under pressure.
Right.
I don't feel as good about that. If something happened to Pat Mahomes, what does, and God forbid, he went to whack surfboards. We don't like to forecast injuries here. Mm-hmm. What does that Kansas City Chiefs team turn into? Like, can you, honest to God, tell me that team would make the playoffs? Because I don't think you can.
No. If it's real early in the season, you got to hope that if that happens, it happens late, and you already have enough wins to qualify for the playoffs.
That's the reason
that's your goal.
That's the reason that my number one, and I've already had people tell me I'm overvaluing this team. I'm overreacting. C.J. Stroud's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, period. I'm not sure he's not better than that. Mm-hmm. He has 2 former NFL starters sitting behind him. If Case Keenum had to come in, do I think the Houston Texans would crash into the world and go 5-12? No, I don't. I think the Houston Texans would make the playoffs with Case Keenum. They'd probably get shellacked in the first round, but I can't say that about Kansas City. I can't go to that same spot. This is the reason I'm so confident of Houston and why I have so many futures bets with them. I don't see a path. It would take 8 steps to get me to a point where they're 7-10. Kansas City, you got to understand, is super thin at this point.
Right.
I mean, because you've gotten to this point in the dynasty. This is what happened with New England, too. That's why New England went through like a 9-year period where they couldn't get to a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. You get to that point, things get thin. Guys start getting hurt. You start getting beat by the deep young team. And it's way worse now than it was back then.
Yeah. I know Case Keenum can win in this league. We've seen him do it. We've seen him win playoff games in this league.
Not that long ago.
Was 10 years ago, though? It feels like it. It feels like a long, long time ago.
Hey, it wasn't recently. Maybe it was a little longer ago than I thought.
When was that? 2012?
It wasn't that long ago. I think it was 2017. I think.
Okay. All right. Just not
stand by,
sure.
and I'll tell you. That Case Keenum's playoff record was not necessarily something that I came prepared to defend today.
Well, I mean, you should have if you're going to have him number one, like this number one quarterback in the or quarterback room in the league. Better be prepared, because I know we feel like he can still do it.
It was 2017.
2017. All right, so 7 years ago.
I mean, yes, that's a long time ago, but he's not 406 years old. He's the same age as Tyrod Taylor, which takes me to my number 2. My 2 is the Jets. Mm-hmm. Because the Jets are the ones I'm more scared of the starter. That's why I couldn't have him any higher, because I am scared. Aaron, buddy, I love you. And I don't care that you smoke crimes. I don't care that you talk to ghosts. I don't care that you're a weird dude. I don't care. I just need you to be an upright weird dude.
Right.
But what would the Jets' record be with Tyrod Taylor, and why is it 11-6? I went through it.
You're not wrong.
I know I'm not. Because all I
you're not
need is a
wrong.
competent quarterback with
Yes.
that defense in that running game.
Sure.
And
With the
new,
weapons that you
soon-to-be
have,
Pro
Tyrod
Bowler
can get-
Tariq Cohen. I mean, the breaking news. Tariq Cohen going to the Pro Bowl with the New York Jets. No big deal.
Wait. Tariq Cohen.
Yeah, the Jets just signed Tariq Cohen to be their kick returner.
Is he the one that got broken in half like 2 years ago?
It was 3 years ago. Yes, he was the little running back for the Bears that
Yeah.
was insanely fast, but he was about 5'7".
Didn't he pop his Achilles like 8
Oh,
times?
yeah. Yeah, he had a horrific – he's still not
Yeah.
100%. But by God, if you looked at Robert Saleh when they signed him, you would think they just won the Super Bowl. Like,
He was
yes,
so jacked.
we got Tariq Cohen. Yes. Doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the Jets are your 2.
And then Kansas City's my 3.
I was going to say, please tell me, dear God, Kansas City's in here somewhere close. Okay. You got 3 of my top 4. You didn't name my other one in the top 4. Cincinnati was my 2.
I don't see how you have them that high.
Why?
Well, first of all,
Jake Browning was not terrible.
I didn't
correct?
say he was terrible. Joe Burrow,
And Joe Burrow's the
scares
second
the
best quarterback in the
Heber-Jeebers.
league.
Yeah, but Joe scares the Heber-Jeebers out of me.
Well, I mean, it's not been great, all right? He gets injured more than Ronald Acuna Jr., but still.
Oh, shots fired.
should I-
On a Brave station, nonetheless.
Ouch. I'm sorry.
Too soon. Good Lord. God, you want to take shots at Robert De Niro, too? Like,
It hurt. Oh, 100%.
let's go.
I wish Alec
totally
Baldwin
done.
would take shots at Robert De Niro.
That's at Sports Tank ESPN. I didn't say that. I need that to be well known. I did not say that. Tank broke himself. One segment in, and Tank broke himself. That's the hardest I've ever seen him laugh. The opinions of the Sportsocracy are not necessarily reflected.
Now. I'm just laughing at my own jokes. I can't even talk.
The opinions of the
That was
Sportsocracy
3 in
are
a
not
row.
necessarily.
That was 3 burns in a row. I need credit for that.
Hey, it's definitely on character. I'll say that much.
All right. What were we talking about?
We were talking about the Cincinnati Bengals before it may have thrown the shot that ended it all, but
Yeah, I'm sorry. Anyhow, there was another one that was coming there. Joe Burrow, Jake Browning. All I'm saying is Jake kept it afloat,
he did.
kind of, last year. Another year under his belt, I feel pretty good about him being my backup. Oh, by the way, to me, Joe Burrow is top 2-3 quarterback in the NFL.
I agree, but tell me right now that you don't worry about Joe Burrow because he's had 2 season-ending injuries in a very short career.
Yeah, it is concerning.
You can't feel great about that. Now, look, I will say Cincinnati was my 5. I don't believe in Jake Browning as much as everybody else seems to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And if he was backing up Pat Mahomes, they're probably won. But he's not. He's backing up a quarterback that has a lot of hubris. And I love Joe Burrow. You can't tell me that you feel awesome about that right now. You also can't tell me that if Joe got abducted by space aliens before week 1, that you actually, honest to God, think Jake Browning would take them to the playoffs.
I mean, maybe. Maybe he could. I don't know that to be definitive.
I don't think he could make the playoffs. I mean, look, Cincinnati would be fine, and they're a top fiver for me. Tyler Presley is really not happy with you. I'm going to give him directions to the studio so he can open palm slap you
I'm sorry.
because he's a Bengal and a Brave fan.
Oh, that was a double hitter.
Yeah, Tank. There you go. You say you're sorry,
I'm sorry. I said I shouldn't have said it after I said it.
and then you doubled down, and that's
I didn't double down. I just started throwing shots at other people. And,
if anybody listened to this show, they would be really angry right now.
precisely. Doesn't matter. Nobody's listening anyway. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM at 1400. Top 13 quarterback rooms in the NFL. We'll continue the debate right after this.
Do better, be better every day. That's the
clear.
The red phone in the studio is ringing, Mr. Spencer.
Kick off the Parks Promise community here. Nonprofits throughout Western North Carolina.
Oh, that's funny.
To do better and be better for the communities that we serve. There are
In fairness, did you notice that I at no point disagreed with you?
A hand to a soft voice or a warm heart to embrace their neighbors. We can't wait.
Oh, I knew you couldn't.
24 Parks Promise community.
Never lie to your audience.
Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 864-448-3772. That's 864-448-3772. 864-448-3772.
Were you uninvited to game night? Do you play board games with the ferocious intensity of an iron-fisted oligarch? Have friends left game night asking, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Get to Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale and save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets, plus get a $300 instant gift, all with free and fast delivery. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
How long we got here?
Responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local minute.
Looking to buy,
you made this fruit of the forbidden tree with your joke earlier, but I do have to state for the record, one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life was some random dude on a New York street going, "You suck! Your movie sucks too!"
Asheville Home Search. With our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
When the flowers come into bloom, it is like a field of dreams. Hi, I'm Belinda Smith. My husband Russ and I own Briar Hill Farm in Pickens, South Carolina. Ingles has really brought awareness to locally grown flowers. And they've made it convenient for customers to be able to purchase local flowers, and customers realize the advantage of local flowers being fresher and lasting longer.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumber than a bag of hammers.
We're back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Jeremy Greene, top 13 quarterback rooms in the NFL. Again, you started with the Houston Texans, C.J. Stroud, and Case Keenum.
And Davis Mills, long neck like a giraffe.
Excuse me, Davis Mills.
I didn't say he wasn't terrible. I just you tell me who you feel better about, Chris Aluakon or Davis Mills, because I don't think that's that hard to figure out.
Good point. Good point. At number 2, you went New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers to Rod Taylor.
And future Pro Bowler Jordan Travis sitting there as the 3, just learning from the wealth of knowledge that's already in that room.
Your 3 was the Kansas City Chiefs.
I don't buy Carson Wentz as much as everybody else seems to.
Patrick Mahomes, Carson Wentz. 4 was who?
My 4 was Cincinnati.
Yeah, was Cincinnati. Okay. So that brings us to number 5. Who is it?
You're not going to like my answer.
Oh, dear Lord.
It's the Cleveland Browns.
They're my 5.
What? Really?
They are my 5 as well.
Can I genuinely say I have never in my life seen an NFL team where I do not care who you play at quarterback. I don't care if it's Deshaun Watson. I don't care if it's Jameis Winston. I don't care if it's Tyler Huntley. I kind of care if it's Dorial Thompson-Robinson, but he's the 4, so I don't really feel like I have to get that deep. I don't care which one it is. I think you can win with any of the 3 of them.
You know who else doesn't care? Kevin Stefanski. He won with Joe Flacco last year.
Mm-hmm.
He won games with did Dorian Thompson-Robinson not win a game last year?
One, and then he got.
I think he did.
Then he got just killed on an NFL football field.
Right, but Kevin Stefanski's looking at it going, "I've got a system that works here. I'm getting a running back. I think things are going to be fine. Hopefully, I'm going to get I'm going to get what was promised to me out of Deshaun Watson, or at least a fraction of it." They were my 5 as well. It's deep, and after I saw them go to the playoffs with Flacco last year, I'm pretty sure Jameis, if he has to play, will be fine.
I ask you a question. Just you and I both have a pretty deep depth of knowledge here on Jameis Winston because he played for my college team and your NFL team.
Yes.
Does it not seem like mentally he's getting better every year that he really doesn't play? Like just the way we perceive him, does it not seem that as time goes on, we just seem to be forgetting all the bad and remembering that, man, he's got an arm.
He does have an arm. And, you can forgive certain things of young guys, right? 30 interceptions was bad. But you know what was pretty good? 5,000 yards and 33 touchdowns, whatever that ended up being. He was a god-awful turnover machine. But I'm starting to get to the point with Jameis Winston where I'm thinking, why is he not getting an opportunity somewhere?
Well, it's the interception.
Right, we waited for him to go for him to get us a chance in New Orleans, and that never happened.
Well, Jameis Winston to me, he hits the unholy trinity of I don't necessarily know that he's the guy I want a young guy learning from because he notoriously threw himself into trouble. So, I mean, I don't want my rookie picking up those habits.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to start. So you've got to have him in a situation where it's not like he couldn't be the backup to Aiden O'Connell or anybody like that. And then you get how much guys in the locker room like him.
Mm-hmm.
And so it starts a quarterback controversy, whether there should be one or not. There were people in New Orleans that wanted him playing last year.
Yeah, he should have.
And I can't say they were wrong.
I think he should have. I've always thought Jameis is a very talented player. He had a big problem of throwing it to the other damn team or doing that thing where he just closed his eyes and threw it deep and hoped somebody's going to go catch it.
Screw it. Mike Evans down there somewhere.
Exactly. He did that a lot. That's how he ended up with all of the interceptions and things. Hopefully over time he's learned. Problem is we haven't seen it on the field for an extended period of time. He's come in for 2 or 3 highlight plays, right? Just come in for a running touchdown or something, or a goal line package or something like that. I think he had one Hail Mary pass against us, which was just still kind of sticks in my craw.
Hey, he scored on what was supposed to be a kneel down last year. That was fun.
Yeah, he did. He did.
He went full Madden. Like, nope.
I think, to me, Cleveland is set at the quarterback position. If it flames out with Deshaun Watson, I'm fine rolling the dice with Jameis Winston.
Does this scare you that they brought in Winston and Tyler Huntley? If you're a Browns fan, does that worry you?
No. I want all the options. remember how many backup quarterbacks we had last year.
Oh, no, I understand.
Remember how many played for this team last year.
No, I understand. I'm looking. Jason Trump in our YouTube comments is talking about how long it takes to come back from, the year off and all of the things he went through. If Cleveland thought that was a possibility, I don't think you would have put that many names in a room. You got 3 dudes in that room that want to start. And if you didn't think that there was something, if they had just brought in Jameis Winston, I wouldn't be saying this. With DTR as the third, that's the long-term developmental project. You got a legit backup. You brought in Tyler Huntley, too. Mm-hmm. The most laughable Pro Bowler in the history of the NFL. But that tells me you think there's a possibility that he's never coming back. And you're just trying to make chicken salad out of chicken squat.
It is always a possibility. I've already been burned up to this point, right? This is an abject disaster. But somehow we're a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow we're still in it. We gave out one of the most the most egregious contract in the history of the NFL, and it has gone spectacularly bad.
Two Lees. Spectacularly.
Exactly. That's how bad it was.
By the way, have you noticed we haven't had an NFC team yet?
No.
Do you have an NFC team anytime soon?
Yeah.
I don't.
Really? Okay. Interesting.
My next 3 are still AFC teams.
My next 4 are all in the NFC. So
really?
Yeah.
Okay, I got to know who's next for you.
Seattle.
I couldn't get Seattle. And I had a weird feeling that I knew it was one of the 4. I just didn't know it was going to be the first one. The thing about Seattle is that, and I'm going to take the line you told me before the show, you have to take the starter into it. I can't put Geno Smith in the top 16 of any ranking of quarterbacks in this league. You have 2 quarterbacks to me that are the same guy. I just like one of them better.
But if you look at it from the standpoint of my team doesn't change, in fact, it might get better if I go with the second option. That's a strong quarterback room.
You're not wrong.
Right. I mean, and that's kind of how I had to go about it, thinking of it after the elite rooms of the top 5. I mean, yeah, you've got great quarterbacks, but there again, if I look at Justin Herbert, if I think he's a top 10 quarterback, he doesn't have a top 10 quarterback room.
No, he doesn't have a top 20
He's got
quarterback
Easton
room.
Stick standing behind him.
If the Los Angeles Chargers were to lose Justin Herbert, you mean like they did last year, they end up picking in the top 5.
Right.
They were not even in consideration for me.
No. And so that's kind of where I went with this next tier of who's got depth behind in their room at least.
Okay, let me
because Geno ain't a star.
All right, let me ask you a question. How do you put that ahead of the Jacksonville Jaguars? Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback in any of those rooms by 5 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Do you honestly think that Sam Howell or Geno Smith is light years ahead of Mac Jones and CJ Beathard? Because I don't. Because they'd have to be light years.
Not light years, but I'd rather have him.
I would rather have both of them. But I'd rather have Trevor Lawrence 100 times out of 100 than all 4
Against
of them.
those 2.
You give me all 4 of them, I'll take Trevor Lawrence by himself.
By that rationale, I completely understand. But as far as quarterback rooms, talent-wise, Jacksonville is far off to me because Mac Jones drags him down. Drags down a quarterback who I already think, while he's talented, I already feel like he's got way too much on his shoulders.
He does, but he's also a 3-year NFL starter. Still young, not like he's over the hill or anything like that. Jacksonville's my 6.
Okay.
How far down did you have them?
All the way.
You didn't have them in the top 13?
No, they were 13. They were they were my 13.
I think I'm down on Trevor against the industry, and to me that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
I would take them over every quarterback room in the NFC, and for me, it's not even all that close.
Wow.
Fact or fiction, Trevor Lawrence will be the best quarterback in the NFC.
Yeah.
I'd say fact, and it's not even close. I would say Mac Jones is a top 5 backup. Oh, would you rather have him or Jake Browning? I'll go to the one you were defending earlier. I'll take Mac Jones.
Close.
I'll take the guy that started for 3 years to spot for a game.
Right.
I don't want any of you starting for the long term. Outside of maybe Jameis, Tyrod Taylor, and a handful of others.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Top 13 quarterback room debate continues after this.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast.
You're clear.
Thank
in
you.
Asheville.
Not anticipating any changes with the afternoon package, as sunshine is going to be dominating the next few days, maybe even in through at least the beginning of the upcoming weekend. Today, 75, a gusty breeze and sunny. Tonight, clear near 50. Some of our chillier spots could be in the 40s. Light jacket tomorrow morning. Maybe. Sunshine 75 in the afternoon. Friday, everybody's in the 40s in the morning. Sunshine upper 70s in the afternoon. Saturday, sunny, and the chance of showers and thunderstorms back by Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. As humans, we like having options. One option you might like is speaking with a real person when you call about your credit card. With 24/7 live U.S.-based customer service from Discover, everyone can talk to a real person anytime, day or night. Limitations apply. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit, 800-226-5454. That's 800-226-5454.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most: attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day, but when we're driving, cooking, working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next.
What's your
customer's
outside
ears
story?
While they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Call 844-ADD-HELP-5. That's 844-ADD-HELP-5.
eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need at the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they're guaranteed to
What's
make your
your
ride the
outside
first
story?
time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
If cleanliness is next to godliness. Fury and Usyk are fighting again. Look, life comes at you fast, but
Mine's
so
about
does
the college
Vinci
football game.
Auto detailing.
I'm just locked in. I'm literally counting down the days.
You just can't wait.
I can't
Check 'em
wait.
out on
I keep
Instagram.
watching
All that
trailers.
filth and years of stains
I'm telling you, you will
disappear.
lose me for
The
5
auto
solid
detailing
days.
does
You will
full
get nothing but the 3 hours of this show.
skins, with paint correction. I got it all. I'm getting all the MUT points and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah. I'm taking West Virginia to a national title that first night.
With
It's
a
happening.
Southern hospitality touch.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest
Spread
in real
option
estate in the
with a
mountains,
6'6",
you need to call the
4.340
agents
quarterback
at
named
Clarissa
Jeremy Greene.
Sells
Let's go.
WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at
Oh, no, I won't give him my name. I'll give him a cool
ClarissaSellsWNC.com.
name like
And did I
Dick
mention that
Power.
Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission.
Seamus Throttlecock.
Contact us today
Max
at
Thrust.
828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Time to get just a bit outside. And, hey, Jeremy, now I know that they're fighting, but it's plenty of time for me to forget again. So I mentioned yesterday that, apparently Tyson Fury lost his belt in a highly anticipated fight, apparently, according to the story because they've already announced the rematch is going to be on December 21st. So they're announcing it in plenty of time for you just to completely forget that boxing exists again. I love it. It's brilliant marketing. You probably should have had bigger announcements, a week before the fight started.
One would think so. You also got to realize, okay, so when exactly are you supposed to announce this? All right, the fight's, what did you say, December what?
December 21st.
December 21st. So the first day of winter. Are you going to announce it in September? So we can get lost by football? I
mean, to me, it's weird. It's just weird that this is probably the last time we'll hear about it. Because it'll be in December. Because it'll be Christmas time. Because there will be football going on, and we'll all be wrapped up into that. I very highly doubt we're going to Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk. What is this, the third one? Is this the trilogy fight between these two?
That sounds right, yes.
Yeah, December 21st in Saudi Arabia. I'm not sure that's going to really register on the relevancy scale.
I would hate to be the marketer for any other sport that didn't have a football in it.
Oh, no doubt.
Okay, so there's the biggest announcement ever. We've got just the biggest thing of our year. When exactly am I supposed to say this? I can say it in the doldrums of summer when people are on vacation and don't really care, or I can run up against the juggernaut that is the footballs. None of it's great.
Right.
My story is about something that is marketed quite well, and I'm very excited about it, but I'm a little hurt and I'm very worried. College Football 25 comes out July 19th. I cannot wait to have the game in my digital hands so I can take the West Virginia Mountaineers to a 10-year run of dynasty national championships with a quarterback named Max Thrust or something of the nature. But there are a couple things that will not be in the game that I am very disturbed by. When Virginia Tech comes out, what happens?
What do you mean what happens? Lights cut out.
Lights cut out. What song plays?
Enter Sandman.
Won't happen on the game.
Well, of course it won't, because Metallica's awful.
Jump Around in Camp Randall also won't happen.
Oh,
which is unfortunate. But you know what that made me worry about. What was my first worry when there it is?
You wanted Country Roads.
I'm telling you right now, if we don't see Country Roads on that long when the fighting Jeremy Greens are taking down national championships, we don't have a problem.
They're not putting that in the game.
They might.
They should.
They didn't specifically say that one wasn't going to be in.
Right. Oh, come on. What are the guys from House of Pain doing that they can't let us use that song? Do you need the money that badly?
Well, I mean, here's my question. How much could that possibly cost? To have that as a royalty in the game, how much does that possibly cost?
I don't know. You'd have to pay a certain percentage on all of the games, I guess. It'd be much more than a player share.
Okay.
Right? We're already having to share profits with the players. I don't think we're interested in shelling out money for extra licensing on the music.
Well, I mean, the game is $100 and I don't even remember how much I just paid. It's like $150. I think you're okay. And there are millions of us. There was a live stream when we went to put everything up on YouTube today. There was a live stream happening that was just unveiling information that was unveiled earlier in the day about the game that had 2,500 people watching it live.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'll be fine. Get me the things that I need. There's not a lot of them. Okay, I need that god awful song they sing at Michigan, Mr. Brightside. Need that one.
Oh yeah,
I need that one.
Sandstorm for the Gamecock.
No doubt. And Sandstorm shouldn't be that hard. They're EDM DJs. Okay, they don't require that much. Pabst Blue Ribbon, and never mind. No good could come from where I was headed with that.
Right. You should be able to. That should be customizable. You should be able to put that on in your stadium that you've created for your own college. Because I would 100% steal the Sandstorm thing.
Well, I mean, and that's another question: is can you load these things into your own version of the game? Like, can I upload music and put it in the stadium? Because that's a way to get around all of it.
Yeah, they'd never allow that.
I don't know how you can prevent it. I mean, because, look, if you're going to challenge hacker.
Can you do that now? Can you load your own music into your Madden and make it play while you're on the menu games and stuff? Asking for a friend, because I've never heard of that.
I don't know if you can do it through the server. I mean, I'm really trying to make sure I don't put myself on a list. Hacker Jeremy can do all kinds of stuff.
Okay. I didn't know that was even a thing that you could hack.
Open source code, bro. I told you a long time ago. I got to the point where I didn't learn any of the things that would make me a lot of money, but they can make my things way cooler.
Okay. Divine Comedy says you can't do it.
Actively?
He doesn't think that. He doesn't think you can do it. I think it's a challenge. I think he wants you to tell him how you're doing crimes.
My response, Tank, I bet you already know. What are you, a cop?
There you go. All right, so no customizable music or no customized stadium songs in the game, and you're upset. That's your point of the story.
I am upset because I want to go to Camp Randall and beat Wisconsin 72-6 with max thrust, and I want them to jump up and down doing jump around while I'm up 63-0.
I mean, that would be cool, but that would be an extra feature that none of the other games ever had. See, my main gripe right now is I want to make sure that this game has everything that the other games had, and all the best parts and none of the horrible parts.
Okay, well, I know a lot of the features, so you tell me what it is you're looking for, and I'll tell you if it's in the early releases.
All right, so we have the Dynasty mode, right?
Yes.
We have Road to Glory mode.
Yes.
Where you can play the individual player.
Yes.
Okay. Does it have, in the Road to Glory, you start in high school?
I don't know the answer to that.
See, I feel like that's a part of the game that I liked.
I would be shocked if it didn't.
And it had the customizable high school schedule. So if you really wanted to nerd out, you could make a kid for Irwin High School and make him play TC. You could edit all of the other schools. Yes, I've done it.
I've done it.
To make them play Tuscola and TC Robertson and the West Canaan Coyotes. And yeah, I did it.
I did it.
Hannah Yellow Jackets.
I did it, and I'm not even ashamed that I did it.
And yes, I had them play the Weddington Warriors high school football fans, and I beat the snot out of them 120-0 just because I could. Because that's the one team that beats the snot out of every one of our teams that ever makes it into the playoffs. Them and who was the one that used to beat the crap out of you? Shelby.
Crest.
No, Crest. That's the one.
That's a bad word. That's we don't say that word.
Yeah.
That word still makes me angry.
So I want that part of the Road to Glory that we start in the high school, even if it's just a 4-game playoff run.
That's what it was in the former game.
Yeah, I think it was 13 that had the full season.
That sounds right.
That's the last one that I have.
The one thing I know that a lot of people were upset about that's not in the game is the mascot game.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
I'll almost bet you that's going to be downloadable content.
Yes.
That's going to be like a $5 rider that you can play with Ramses against the Duke Devil, whatever his stupid name is.
Yeah.
I played that one time every single year, and I was always mad that Florida State didn't have the horse. Like, you tell me I can play Renegade, I'm going to mess y'all up.
Mm-hmm.
You're out here with a bunch of dudes in costume. I got a real-life horse. Eat it. And the Mountaineer couldn't shoot his gun, which also made me angry.
But I've never played with Florida State. Are you all just the
They weren't in it.
Chief?
They weren't in it.
They weren't in it. Oh, I was going to say, are you just like a little skinny guy out there running around? Like, that's weird.
Dude, Osceola would mess you up.
All right.
I sat right behind where the mascot was hemmed up. This has been many years ago. He is not some little skinny guy.
Create a college. You have to have that.
That's in there. You can according to what I just saw, you can create up to 120 schools in any, like when you do your dynasty, you can throw 120 schools into it.
But is this one of those like they did for? I think it was for for the college football 13 was the one that ticked me off the most. That you had to go to EASports.com and set up your team there and throw it in the team builder thing.
They didn't go that deep.
Create if you had the access, if you had the all access pass or I don't even know what they call it, the subscription or whatever. That was the only way that you could use the create a team. Hated that.
I'll just go ahead and tell you. When this game comes out, you're going to get Jeremy at maybe 10% effort for about 2 solid weeks.
Well, I mean, on release day, I feel like we should do like a special YouTube broadcast.
No doubt. For that. Just live streaming it from Mullet Manor. We'll throw it up in the corner, and I will beat Tank savagely for 3 hours.
Yes.
I will take the most low-level school you can think of. I will let Tank play with Georgia, and I will still beat him 126-0.
Yeah.
Because you think I'm good at Madden? Bruh. I will hurt your feelings with the option.
Yeah. Oh, God, I hate
Oh, and it's apparently unbelievable. One of the beta testers was on the live stream that I watched earlier, and he said it is unreal how good the option is.
You mean how effective it is?
He said how good it was.
If anybody runs an option, you're screwed.
Well, basically, the way he made it sound when I heard it was that the days of you run out to the left, you hit pitch, it doesn't do it, and then you just get lit up by some linebacker, those days are over.
Thank God. Never could master the option play.
I was so good at it. There was a glitch in the game for years that if you waited until the very last second, it was almost like the buzzer in Jeopardy. It would lock you out. And you were just, once that linebacker was close enough, you were doomed.
Yep. Never could make it work.
I would have hurt your feelings with Army back in the day. Nothing but 60s. And you can't stop me. I can't stop you either. Because I was not good defensively on that game.
Oh.
And probably won't be all that good defensively on this game.
Yeah. All right. College football 25. It hurts my heart just thinking that we have so long to wait. It's still 2.5 weeks away. And I need it as part of my life.
This is probably a bad time to say it's 2.5 weeks plus 1 month away. Because it's July 19th, not June 19th.
Oh, no. Oh, shoot. How about you said June 19th?
July 19th.
Well, screw it.
But we get it 3 days early because Jeremy paid for it.
Yeah, awesome. We got to continue talking about the top 13 quarterback rooms in the NFL. We got through, 6? You had the Jacksonville Jaguars as your 6. So who's at 7?
Buffalo.
Buffalo Bills.
I mean, Josh Allen's one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league. Mitch Trubisky has played a lot. Now, if Josh Allen goes down, you are LMNO screwed. Yeah. But I think you are anyway. But you give me a guy that's played that many snaps in the NFL behind one of the best quarterbacks in the league, okay, I'll be fine.
Yeah. That's one of those that I looked at. If they lose Josh Allen, that's a 2-win team. I don't believe in that team.
I was about to say, I think you believe they're a 5-win team with him, so that's not really that off book.
But that's kind of where you're at. You get stuck with Mitch Trubisky. I've seen that before. I've seen how that works out for teams, and it doesn't work out for teams. So he had that one preseason game where everybody got hyped of, this could be fine. I don't think it will be.
Now we're to my first NFC team.
Your first NFC team at number 7?
8.
8.
And it's not the one you said. Atlanta Falcons. Okay. Yeah, I railed on you for taking Michael Penix because, no, it does not make a whole lot of sense. But you're in pretty good shape when it comes to quarterback. I don't love Kirk Cousins. He's, the definition of mid, but he's still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC.
Yes.
Michael Penix would probably be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC. He'd be in the top 10, I think, as a rookie. And then you got Taylor Heineke as the 3.
Correct.
You also have something called a John Paddock as the 4, which I feel like I didn't want him to be left out.
Yeah, well, he's fine.
I'm sure he's fun at parties, but I don't really care about him beyond that.
No, he's actually on a 2-way contract. Arthur Blank got him to work for Home Depot as well. So he's sharing time.
Yeah, he's the practice squad quarterback. He also manages the Athens Home Depot.
Yes, he is. He's also lumber supervisor at store number 417 there in Kennesaw. Atlanta was my 7 because Kirk Cousins, to me, is so strong as the starter. He's better than mid to me. He's high mid. I'm not going too much farther than that, but I do believe Kirk Cousins is high mid, and with starting experience behind him in Taylor Heineke and the unknown of what Michael Penix can be, that is a really good position to be in. It does not justify the draft pick, but I guess it doesn't hurt.
No.
At number 9.
This is where it got hard for me because I'm now into the point of I don't love any of this. And so if I'm going to talk about ones I don't love, I'm going to go that Seattle team you said that has 2 quarterbacks that I think are the same guy.
Mm-hmm. I'm all about Seattle as far as this doesn't change anything about my team. I believe in Sam Howell just as much as I believe in Geno Smith. On the talent scale, it's not as good as some of these other rooms, and no, they don't add up to, a superstar like Trevor Lawrence. I will admit that. But it's the fact that you won't lose a step if you lose one of them. There's only one other situation in the NFL that's close to me.
Which is?
Las Vegas.
I had Las Vegas at 11. They were behind one more group in the NFC, and it was Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Because my problem with Philadelphia is I absolutely detest when NFL teams put these rooms together, and you've got 2 quarterbacks that can't do the same thing. And Philadelphia has 3 of them. They have 3 guys that play completely different football. But they're still talented.
Yes. Philadelphia was my 8. I had Detroit at 9. Where did they fall in for you?
Detroit was my 12th. I like Jared Goff a lot. Hendon Hooker, I don't actually know what I'm getting. And he's all you have. It's him and Nate Sudfeld. Detroit's another one of those teams. Jared Goff goes down, you're in trouble.
Do you not have Baltimore inside your top 10?
I did. We talked about them earlier. I had 3 AFC North teams in my top 5. Or 6. I think 5 or 6.
Oh, okay. My bad. I did not.
I wondered why you were a number behind me on every one of these.
Well, maybe that's it. Maybe because I did not hear Baltimore. And then the only other team I have on the list here is who? Indianapolis?
Arizona was my 13.
Arizona's your 13.
They do have 3 guys that, and I like Kyler Murray. I don't like the other 2, but the other 2 have at least played. And I look at some of these, like Green Bay. Good gravy. If you better put Jordan Love in mothballs.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay. You better put Baker Mayfield in mothballs.
Yes.
L.A. I mean, even with Jimmy Garoppolo, that was the one team we didn't mention.
Mm-hmm.
I love Matthew Stafford. I don't see Jimmy Garoppolo as this great big positive. Do you?
In an emergency, he's one of the best backups in the league. In an emergency, I'd rather turn to him than Mac Jones in Jacksonville.
Okay, can I explain to you why I don't agree with that?
Well, quickly, and then we got to go to the break.
Because Jimmy Garoppolo is made of popsicle sticks. And I feel like that gets into that same vortex that the 49ers were in years ago, where they would get acclimated to a guy, then he would get hurt. And now you're spinning around Nick Mullins, CJ Beathard, and all these other random dudes. I don't see that as a positive. It's a good thing for one game. It's not a good thing for 6 if something happened to Stafford.
Okay, I can buy that. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
You can host the best backyard.
And you're clear.
Thank you.
When you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
All right, we're back 30 seconds after.
Hey, summer is our season, and we're kicking it off with a free 12-ounce Island Punch smoothie for National Flip Flop Day. Grab your flip-flops and head to your local cafe on May 29th from 2 to 7 p.m. Terms and conditions apply.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or e-gift card. Download the free Upside app now and use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. That's promo code GIFT.
With your choice of select sandwich, nugs, fries, and a drink, Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag is your go-to. Your nugget wingman. Your hot and crispy fry co-pilot.
Just like us. We're like the bag boys.
What?
Bag boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when we bring your food?
For a deal you can count on, bet on Biggie and choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Bag boys.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes choice of JBC or crispy chicken sandwich with 4-piece nugs, junior fry, and small soft drink. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
With T-Mobile, you can get tons of benefits and still save. Because nobody likes having to choose. It's like getting romance and sci-fi.
I love you. Also, I'm a robot.
At T-Mobile, you can get the benefits you want and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. See how with our savings calculator at T-Mobile.com/switch. Plus, switch and keep your phone. We'll pay it off up to $800.
Via virtual prepaid card in 15 days. Qualifying unlocked device credit service and timely redemption required. Card has no cash access and expires in 6 months. See T-Mobile.com.
At Ingalls, we're proud to work with hundreds of local farms and businesses in the communities we call home. Not only does it ensure that you get top-quality, fresh items for your family table, it's a way for us to support the amazing individuals who pour their heart and soul into delivering the very best they can do. Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Not anticipating any changes with the afternoon package as sunshine is going to be dominating the next few days, maybe even in through at least the beginning of the upcoming weekend. Today, 75, a gusty breeze and sunny. Tonight, clear near 50. Some of our chillier spots could be in the 40s. Light jacket tomorrow morning. Maybe. Sunshine 75 in the afternoon. Friday, everybody's in the 40s in the morning. Sunshine upper 70s in the afternoon. Saturday, sunny and the chance of showers and thunderstorms back by Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
At Ingalls, we're proud to work with hundreds of local farms and businesses in the communities we call home. Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
Hi, I'm Tom Cobain.
the proud owner and operator of the Carpet Barn, your local flooring store in Waynesville. Committed to supporting small businesses in Western North Carolina, the Carpet Barn takes pride in being a thriving small business in Haywood County. For a wide selection of high-quality flooring and a personalized shopping experience, visit us at the Carpet Barn. Explore our collection today at carpetbarncarolina.com. That's carpetbarncarolina.com.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agent.
All right, 30 seconds.
Comparion? Never heard of them. We know. We also know that you have no idea that Comparion Insurance Agents are local and provide expert advice. So to help it stick, we're going to say local agent 4 times in the next 15 seconds. Ready? Go. Our local agents know you and your community. Our local
Summer Scout
from top carriers. Our local agents have minty fresh breath.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com. Comparion Insurance Agency. Local agents. Expert advice.
And there's number 4.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The Sportsocracy.
That fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls Studio.
It is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy, heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. You can take us with you everywhere you go, live or on demand, or you can watch us live on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That gets you into the chat. You can weigh in on whatever the topic of the discussion is today. We were just doing top 13 quarterback rooms in the NFL. That's a series that will continue for, the foreseeable future here until we get through all the position groups in the NFL. But we're pairing this with the summer scouting of the Sportsocracy because, well, we're a draft show. We're draft guys. We like drafty things. And Flostradamus Jeremy Greene has already got 300 profiles done.
That's not true.
He's already done the deep dive. It's already done, actually. He's ready for the mock draft to be submitted for the contest next year right now.
Well, if the draft was today, I could sufficiently give you everything you need for the first 3 rounds.
Nice.
But we still have a whole season to play, so it's still early.
Still early. The position group for today's summer scouting session, gang. The pass rushers in the 2025 NFL draft class. Now, classify pass rusher for us. Is this just edge rushers, or does this take a lot of things into account?
This just takes true, honest-to-God edge rushers into account. So like Harold Perkins that you mentioned yesterday, I don't have him here.
Okay.
I mean, he would qualify here to a point, but he does more than just rush the passer.
Okay.
And some of these guys do more than just rush the passer. But the reason they're going to get drafted is because they rush the passer.
So this is all the guys that's the number one thing they do.
Pretty much. Just edge guys in general.
Okay.
See, to me, I lump all the edge guys, for me, at least in this period of the year, I lump guys into weirder classifications than others do. So I have edge rushers, I have run stuffers, I have, then you get into the corners, but I break corners into corners and slot guys. And now I've had to start doing the hybrid joker safety corner, which is so obnoxious. Can we stop adding positions? Like, it's already hard enough for me to delineate these guys, but you keep giving me new positions and it makes it harder.
Right. You can't just go full, linebacker, corner. There's so many specialized positions within those groups now.
Well, linebacker means different things to different people.
Right.
Playing linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens and playing linebacker for the San Francisco 49ers is not the same position.
So looking ahead to the next this draft class, going into this college football season, who's your number one prospect edge rusher?
James Pierce Jr. He's my number one prospect, period.
Period.
He's my number one. Based off a very small sample size. Now, you got to understand, this kid's only played little over 500 snaps in his career. In those 500 snaps, he has 12 sacks. He has 17 and a half tackles for loss. He had a pick six and a forced fumble in the Citrus Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of hard not to like. And you look at what Tennessee has put around him now that they've got Nico Iamaleava, and this does go into the prognostication. If I think defensively a team is going to be up a lot, what does that probably mean? It means you're going to see a lot of what?
Passing.
What does that lend to? A high-end pass rusher.
Yeah.
I could genuinely see James Pierce going into this draft with the highest pass rusher grade I've ever put on a player. Now, could he fall off a cliff and be a second-day pick? I think there is a possibility of that. I don't think it's a very high one.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you have to get careful with summer scouting, is that you don't want to say these things that you can't unwind. I have such a small sample size here that there is a possibility that he's not as good as what I have seen up until this point. You also have to be careful taking that bowl game into a whole lot of consideration because of how many guys didn't play in it.
Right.
He did, and he was special. In terms of quarterback hurries, he has been all over the place. He has lived in backfields, and if he takes even a half step forward, he'll be a top 5 pick.
He's going to wreck your life.
There's no way around it. He's freakishly athletic. And I guess those are, to put this bluntly and mildly, since this is our first real soiree into this, I start looking for things that aren't going to stop. He's not going to stop being an insanely fluid edge rusher that just absolutely eviscerates bigger offensive linemen. The problem with guys like him tend to be that they start coming up against real NFL level competition, and the fact that they use speed more than power, they can get manhandled by bigger guys. Because he is 235 pounds. He's not a huge guy. It hadn't been a problem yet.
Officially listed at 242. They beefed him up a little bit on the program.
Always be careful with what they list him at the university. I always said I would have been 6'8". I know too many of these guys. I know what they were listed at. They ain't that big.
6'5", 242. That's the official listing.
He's also going to run about a 4.45. If he gets on a track anywhere, this kid is ridiculous athletically. Unlike anything I have ever personally seen.
Right.
I mean, he gives me Von Miller vibes, to be really honest with you.
Right. 9.5 sacks in 2023 for the UT Vols. James Pierce, number 1 in the Flostradamus summer scouting rankings for pass rushers for the 2025 NFL draft. All right, who's behind him?
Mikael Williams. It's a guy you should know reasonably well from Georgia. I am projecting him to a point. One of the things that Georgia is one of the weirdest teams. I've been doing this for a long time. So I go all the way back doing this, we'll say hobby-wise, all the way back to the Miami teams of the early 2000s, all the way back to USC, all the way through the Nick Saban era. I've seen a lot of teams that are really, really, really good and really, really, really talented. And those can cover up deficiencies on guys. What they can also do is really shadow how good a player actually is. I'm higher on Mikal Williams than most people are because he hasn't necessarily done he doesn't have the measurable metrics. I mean, he only had 4 sacks, or he had 6 sacks last year. He had 4 sacks the year before. So you're not seeing huge production. There's a blessing and a curse to that. That could be because he's not being asked to do that because he is really good against the run. Or it could be that you're getting less of the garbage man work where somebody else gets the win and all you do is clean it up. And those guys tend to go into the league and get unveiled. I don't think that's going to be a problem here. I want to see him take a legit step forward as a pass rusher. Whether he's going to do it or not, I don't know. Mm-hmm. If he does, he probably goes in the top 10. Because you talk about complete top to bottom, if he really rounds off that pass rush for him, you could be talking about top 3 pick. You could have 2 edge rushers that go in the top 3. Because I think he's that good.
He has moved around a lot at Georgia. They played him in a lot of spots. Going into the NFL, how does he project for you? Is he a stand-up guy? Is he a hand-in-the-dirt guy?
He's not going to be a stand-up, I'll tell you that much. I think he's a 4-3 end. There are people that think he could play 3-4 end. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you who he reminds me of, Jermaine Johnson. I'm not sure that this is the best place for him to be. I'm not sure that he doesn't go into the NFL and get better. Because, look, Kirby Smart recruits talent. I'll figure out where you go when you get here. Trayvon Walker was the same thing. He wound up as the number 1 pick in the draft. Now, if we had to do that over again, we probably wouldn't be doing that.
It wouldn't happen. Right.
But the problem was that you put him in a position with just a defense where you're better than everybody you play. And he was such a freak of nature that Jacksonville fell in love with him. Mikal Williams is not going to have the same problem in that I don't think he will be overdrafted. I actually think there's a better chance he gets underdrafted because nobody falls in love with one skill set, and he falls the same way Jermaine Johnson did. And I'll tell you, as a fan of the team that drafted him, I have no qualms. I'd do it again. I'd do it 100 times out of 100 and 200 times on Sunday.
But he doesn't have the speed to you to be
a
stand-up guy?
No.
Okay.
Anyway, he's too big. I mean, the kid, I believe, is listed at 265 through Georgia.
Yes. Yes, he is.
I think he's closer to 275. So he could be another one of those that falls into we're going to get 10 different opinions about where he plays and what position he should play and who he is, and those guys invariably fall. But he probably shouldn't.
No. Well, with a big year, he'll definitely be at the top of the draft talk. There are some scouts that already have him as a top player in this draft.
I think those people are and I think those people are slightly putting the cart before the horse. Like, if I did a mock draft right now, I'll go ahead and tell you Mikal Williams would not be in my top 10.
Really?
There would be another pass rusher in my top 10, but it wouldn't be him. But he has that upside that I have to just go, okay, let's watch this year play out. You haven't given me what I need yet, but if you take that step forward, you could be there. I hate projecting guys like that.
Well, but this is what you have to do with the most talented teams in college football, with Alabama, with Georgia, with Ohio State, because, hell, they've got, 16 guys on their team that could be drafted this year.
This Ohio State team probably breaks the record for most drafted players in one draft.
Right. But with all of these teams and all of these programs, this is what you signed up for, right? Every year there's a new 5-star to throw in there, somebody else to get their opportunity. So every time you say, well, the production's not there, for every one of these Georgia guys, I kind of rankle at it going, Yeah, okay, maybe he didn't put up 10.5 sacks last year, but still one of the best college football players in the country.
Okay.
Or else he wouldn't be where he's at.
And here's where I rankle at what you just said, because you're saying that from a college perspective. I'm saying it from a draft perspective. How many front seven Georgia guys have been drafted in the last 5 years that, if you're being really honest to God, honest with yourself right now, haven't been busts? That list ain't real long. Nolan Smith, completely irrelevant. Jordan Davis, horribly overrated. Now, I think he will be better this year in a 3-4 than he was in a 4-3, because I think he fits better into that.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I can do this for a while. N'Kobe Dean, he ain't been great either. Jalen Carter's been a dog.
Same team.
Well,
Weird, they all play for the same team.
You're not wrong. Philadelphia has drafted a lot of these dudes, and that defense was horrific last year.
Right, but that's part of the thing is they brought them all in to basically have the same kind of model of we've just got dudes to throw, and they're just now reaching their rotation level.
And so far, it hasn't worked.
Walker, I'll give you that one.
He's been flat bad.
Walker. That's been terrible. Other than that, I still give these guys leeway. At least the ones that play for Philadelphia, because they've all been down on the depth chart.
Jordan Davis played a lot of snaps last year, and he was not particularly good.
Did he not? Did he not grade well?
He did not grade well at all. He also didn't eye test well, which was a lot of these lax gap assignments were on Jordan Davis. But we said that when he got drafted. This is a kid he's a bit of a ball of clay, because there's not a whole lot of dudes that are 360 pounds that can run like he can.
Right.
He was an absolute life ruiner in college. He ain't going to do that in the NFL. Jalen Carter, on the other hand, I undersold that one, because that dude is a dude.
Yeah. James Pierce Jr., he's the number one pass rusher for Flostradamus in this class. You've got Michael Williams out of Georgia next on the list. We've got more to go. Pass rushers of the 2025 NFL draft class, starting the summer scouting series here in the Sportsocracy. It's a lot of S's. That was not intentional, but I'm glad it worked out that way, because, I love alliteration. All of this leading us up to our big trip, of course, to the 2025 NFL draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and all season long we'll be on the road with the Live in the Dream Tour with Ingles Supermarkets. You can check out more about the tour on our socials at the Sportsocracy. We'll be right back.
In this week's Marketers Report.
And you're clear.
Thank you.
Influencers in Alison Griffin, head of marketing at State Farm.
The economy is tough for everyone, and taking a step back and understanding the pain that your customers are currently going through because of a tough environment is really important. We have 19,000 agents across the country, and they understand.
I'm getting a lot of lag, so I'm going to reset on my end. Just confirm before you come back from commercial that I've come back.
Broadcast.
Okay.
It's local, connected, and for us to be able to touch customers with a local feel but at a national scale is so efficient and important for us.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia.
You couldn't pause a live broadcast like that, but now I can pause it and reset the system, and it fixes a lot of that.
Ceramic coatings. Call WMC Auto Detailing. Good.
I'm almost all the way back in.
Care with a
You may have to give me 30 more seconds.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Ford Hendersonville, and we are excited to kick off the Parks Promise Community Hero Program. This year we'll be celebrating nonprofits throughout Western North Carolina that live out our core value to do better and be better for the communities that we serve.
You need it.
Doing amazing things, from being a helpful hand to a soft voice or.
You got 9 seconds.
No, we're good.
We can't wait to our 2024 Parks Promise Community Heroes. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
It is ESPN Asheville. You're in the Sportsocracy. I'm live in the Ingles studio. I'm Tank Spencer, by the way. He's Jeremy Greene, and he is live at Mullet Manor, handling all of the YouTubes and things.
I am. We're calibrating our system for the on the road, trying to figure out what things can withstand, what things can't withstand. And they gave us this lovely thing where we can just reset the server Hey, it's lagging. It's not anymore. Didn't it probably won't again throughout the show? We hope.
That is Jeremy doing all the techie things on the YouTube side. Just go to thesportsocracy.com. Click that live video link. Subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat, and you can also get the alerts whenever we go live for our special content throughout this off season, which there is no off season anymore. Summer scouting taking place. We've got we're going to start fireside chats, and what is this, Friday evenings? We're just going to be sitting at our homes with libations and just be live on the YouTubes.
Yeah, and we can say the wordy nerds. We can say the wordy nerds. It'll come with your Patreon subscription. People have asked us to do this forever. And, we did it at the draft. Had a lot of fun. Had a lot of people that really enjoyed it. So we will be scheduling those. The date of those will be on the YouTube, but you will have to have Patreon to have access to it. Mm-hmm. And I will put the link to the Patreon in the description or in the YouTube chat as soon as I can remember where I put that, because it's on my computer somewhere and I'm not sure where.
All right, we'll be starting those coming up in June. We're focusing in on the run to the NFL draft here with Summer Scouting Series. Today we're talking pass rushers to watch for this upcoming college football season. And if you need a pass rusher on your NFL team, it's a hell of a year to need one.
It's a good year.
Yeah,
and it really just kind of depends on what you need. Do you need the finished product, or are you willing to take a shot on the high side?
James Pierce Jr., Michael Williams, and then
this shouldn't come as a lot of shock that Patrick Payton's my 3. I think he was overshadowed by Jared Verse, and I fully believe you're going to see on this year's 2024 Florida State ACC championship team that Patrick Payton is a D-O-double-G dog. I'm going to go I'll go an extra step. I'm not sure he's not better than Jared Verse.
Really?
In terms of raw talent, I would say Verse is a better pass rusher. I think Payton's a better player. Just pillar to post, I think he's a better player. Here's where he is going to – he may run into the same problem that Verse did of beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I think he holds up 3 down. I think he could stand up if you wanted him to. Mm-hmm. He's not going to run as fast as you want him to. Or at least he wouldn't have based off what I saw last year. So I'm afraid you're going to get the Abdul Carters. You're going to get the James Pierces. You're going to get – there's a handful of other guys that are rather impressive. And Patrick Payton just kind of gets pushed down the line. I do have a fear of that. It's not like it's not something that's just giving me the great angina. But I do have a pretty good idea that I'm going to be higher on him than other people are.
And it's not just because you're a Florida State fan.
No.
Or at least that's what you're trying to sell us.
That's look, you've done drafts with me for years. Name me a Florida State player I was higher on than I should have been.
You're not wrong.
Jermaine Johnson, I tried to tell every one of you I'd take him in the top 10. Yep, I wasn't wrong.
Nope.
As a guy that's watched every NFL snap he's ever taken, I wasn't wrong. And I'm glad my team figured it out.
Sophomore year at Florida State, Payton had 14.5 tackles for loss, 7 sacks, and 10 pass deflections.
Yep. He has super long arms.
That is a lot of intrigue for an NFL team.
His RAS score is going to be hilarious to watch because he's going to get killed on speed, and body he'll be at 99% in everything.
But doesn't have the speed, you say? At least the elite speed.
Well, he doesn't have that freakish Dallas Turner speed. He has normal edge rusher speed, which still works in the NFL. By the way, a lot of these guys have that. I would argue outside of Pierce and Abdul Carter, the 2 that I said. Mm-hmm. I won't be shocked if he's the fastest one of the bunch. He could be 3. He could also be a solid, outside of the situational guys. he could also be 2 solid tenths of a second slower than both of them. We have a weird – the NFL is getting smaller, it's getting faster. So you see the big stereotypical defensive end. That doesn't look as impressive in a pair of shorts. And if we learned anything being in the Combine last year, just think about the guys that really impressed us at the Combine. What did they all have in common? They were all smaller guys.
Yeah.
Every one of them was a smaller guy. Every one of them went up the board. And then you look at the guys that were bigger. Now, this is a much better defensive class. But you look at the guys that were bigger, stereotypical defensive size, and almost every one of them fell from where we thought they would.
Well, because, as you said, the league is getting faster. And you can't, where big, strong, powerful, bull rushing can be dominant in college. Not saying it can't in the NFL. It's just you need to be able to be faster to get out on the edge, right? Because the tackles are getting faster too. How many big, how many big numbers have we had from those big guys as well?
Oh, no doubt.
When it comes to speed. Okay, after Patrick Payton.
Okay, this is where the summer scouting side of this comes in. Because now I have to put 2 guys on the list that I'm not. There is a player that I would have ahead of them if I was projecting, if I was the one making a selection for a year from now, and that would be Abdul Carter. The problem is that I can't put him over two that I'm getting ready to say because they have far more complete games. Abdul Carter and Chop Robinson right now are pretty much the same guy. I don't know that you'll ever hold up against the run, but you are going to wreck people's souls rushing the passer. There are 2 guys at Ohio State, JT Tuamalo and Jack Sawyer. And I'll go ahead and tell you, I like Jack Sawyer better. I've always liked Jack Sawyer better, and I probably always will. Sawyer was the 5-star, no doubt, just lockdown prospect. The problem is that you do not see it consistently enough, and I swear to you, I'm saying this now for the first time. You will hear me say what I am getting ready to say 543 times. Jack Sawyer went to the wrong school. When he was getting recruited, he could have gone anywhere in the nation. He was the number 1 player in the country. He went to the wrong place because he does not fit at Ohio State, and he never has. And they have tried and tried and tried to use him different ways. It just does not work. He's been good because he is that good. But, man, if he had gone to Michigan, I think we would be talking about him with the James Pierces. Because he would fit in that scheme so much better than he fits in Ohio State. JT Tuamalo, perfect fit at Ohio State. I saw somebody yesterday, and I apologize, I don't remember who said it. I think it was William Workman, that said he was Cam Jordan 2.0. I think that might be the best player comp I've heard for any player in this class. There is virtually no miss. I don't know that there's any superstar. I think there could be superstar in Jack Sawyer.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they both will end up being first-round picks.
I don't know. I have kind of been in like, I guess I should say, infatuated with JT since his freshman year, just making plays for Ohio State, and he's just never really disappointed. When he's on the field, my eyes always seem to go to him, and it's not.
He's always around the ball.
It's not just the hair. He is awesome. Yeah, and you're right. He does. He just has this instinct, this radar that puts him in the right position.
Notorious B.I.G. said Jack Sawyer is Lucas Van Ness on Wish. I can't say that that's wrong. And now here's where I would go. This is how Jeremy views things at this point in the process. If Lucas Van Ness had gone to Ohio State, I'm not sure you would have ever heard his name. Because he would have been one of those mid-round guys that could come in as a situational pass rusher exclusively, because they wouldn't have moved him around like that. Conversely, if Jack Sawyer had gone to Iowa, we might be talking about him in the top 5. And look, that's not a shot. I'm not taking a shot at Ohio State. You are who you are. And they've been trying to figure out defensive identity for several years now. I wouldn't have a problem. Kirk Ferentz knows what he is. Kirk Ferentz knows what that system is. He can't score, but my God, defensively, he can look at a guy and go, that's an Iowa guy. That's not. Ohio State has been throwing something against the wall to see what sticks for years, and they do a great job of bringing in players. I already told you, I think there's a great chance they will break the NFL draft record for most players selected in this next class, because I'm not sure they won't have a player at every position get selected.
Yeah. Well, they had so many players come back after last year, last ride sort of thing. That defense brought pretty much all the main ones that they could bring back are back. Plus, they added Caleb Downs,
who is also a freak of nature.
Ohio State's got no excuses this year, and their 2 star edge rushers are the reason why.
I will go out on a limb and say if Ryan Day doesn't win a national championship this year, he will no longer be the head coach at Ohio State.
Agreed.
I have it on good authority. There has never been a more expensive team in college football history than what Ohio State has right now. Now, is there any way to track that? Because for so many years we were hiding this? No. In terms of the legal era, it's this one, and it ain't even close.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, continuing our summer scouting series. Coming up after the break, it'll also be time to get weird. NFL Draft 2025. The road begins here in the Sportsocracy. It will end here in the Sportsocracy with us being live in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Best NFL pass rushers going into this next season. We'll continue the discussion after this.
This is your weather forecast.
We got 2 membership chats. I missed one from Colin earlier. It was when my computer started lagging. We got one from Back Satisfied Browns fan, too.
The next few days, maybe even in through at least
the
coming weekend.
If you want to jot those down.
75, a gusty breeze and sunny. Tonight,
as we all know, I will forget the minute that I'll say it, and then I'll forget.
Light jacket tomorrow morning. Maybe. Sunshine 75 in the afternoon. Friday, everybody's in the 40s in the morning. Sunshine upper 70s.
Because I'm a big dumb animal.
A chance of showers and thunderstorms back by Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by ComparionInsurance.com.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent, local agent, local agent.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com.
Summit Dental is accepting new patients. At Summit, they submit insurance on your behalf and provide you with estimates, so you have everything you need to make an informed treatment decision. They also work with Care Credit, and they're happy to help you apply. Care Credit helps you pay for out-of-pocket healthcare expenses. See why Summit Dental has so many 5-star reviews on Google. Book today at AshevilleSummitDental.com. In-house savings programs are also available. Book online at AshevilleSummitDental.com.
The free iHeart app has over 100 commercial-free stations like Real Fun Beach Radio. Real Fun Beach Radio gives you that toes in the sand beach music vibe 24/7. Just open the app, search Real Fun Beach Radio, and start listening. iHeart Radio. Free never sounded so good.
Saturday, June 1st, the Cold Mountain Music Festival is back at beautiful Lake Logan, just outside Canton. This year's lineup features Grizzly Goat, 2 Bob Crew, Darren Nicholson, and a whole lot more. It's family-friendly waterfront activities, food trucks, and local vendors, and local craft beer and wine. Plus a Friday night pre-party for campers and cabin guests.
This is Darren Nicholson, and I can't wait to see you at the Cold Mountain Music Festival.
For more information and to get your tickets, go to coldmountainmusic.org. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia, Asheville.
Last season, millions tuned into the Betrayal podcast to hear a shocking story of deception. I'm Andrea Gunning, and now we're sharing an all-new story of betrayal. Justin Rutherford. Doctor, father, family man. It was the perfect cover to hide behind.
I was just like, what in the world is going on?
Listen to Betrayal on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Betrayal and start listening.
We're
back, counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
It is the Sportsocracy, and it's time to get weird, Jeremy Greene. And, Jeremy, you remember the story that we had about the stingray that got pregnant in Hendersonville?
I cannot say that I played the fifth, Bob. I don't remember that one.
Does not drank a lot of beers since then.
Well, we've had some weird stories on this show, Tank. So, I mean, that one is incredibly bizarre, but I don't specifically remember it.
I'm surprised you didn't even see this. They did an SNL skit about Charlotte the stingray, who lives in an aquarium in Hendersonville. It's called Echo, ECCO. It's this little aquarium down there, and they've got a tank with the stingray in it, and there's 2 sharks in the stingray. And one day they saw something was weird up, something's up with the stingray. Charlotte is her name, and it turns out she's pregnant, or that's what they said, that she was pregnant. And then they floated the theory of, well, I mean, she's in the tank with sharks, and she did have shark bites on her, so maybe the shark, got her, and we're going to have shark ray babies at some point. Well, at that point, like, other scientists, marine biologists and stuff started weighing in on social media of that's not possible. Like, you can't just crossbreed a shark with a stingray. It doesn't work that way. The Assembly is an independent journalism organization here in the state of North Carolina. Some people doing some fine work, investigative reporting, and they've decided to get to the bottom of the whole Charlotte the stingray thing, because when the story came out in February, we were told that she'd been pregnant since September, and any day now, she's going to be having pups. Yes, that's what they call them. But now
that's a dumb thing for them to call those. That they have named those incorrectly.
They're stingray pups is what they call them. Now it's May 29th. We still don't have any stingray babies, which would be double the time of a normal stingray pregnancy. They sent a reporter to this place down in Hendersonville to go ask some questions like, hey, what's up? Why has the stingray not had any babies? The response of the place was to call the cops on her. She goes down, she goes in, she wants more information. She's asking, we're curious, we're interested in the story. They said, well, there's nobody here to talk to you, but you can buy a ticket and go look around. So she bought a ticket, went and looked around. She came out, and that's when she started to interview a couple of the people that were in there with her on what they had seen. As she's outside, they called the cops on her. The cops came down and, made her leave. Come to find out, this place has blocked every scientist that has rebutted anything they've ever said on social media. And now we're locked into this place. I think they just made it up. I think they just lied. I don't know for what purpose, to get more funding, to maybe get somebody to come down to their little aquarium. But they created this national stir that got headlines, and nobody is asking any follow-up questions here. I'm glad somebody finally did. And I think at some point we're going to have this. I think at some point this story is going to catch more fire, and we're going to have the Echo people blasted on national media real soon.
Well, There are a couple girls I went to high school with that would probably not love this story because I think they've been pregnant since we graduated. My story is about AOL.com. Do you remember AOL? It's always good because I can see his face even though we're not in the same room. It's always good when I can make him just go, "Oh no!"
I don't know how to respond to that.
That felt hurtful. Did you have an AOL.com email address there, Tankerus?
I did.
Would you care to share with people what it was?
It was T3A1N6K. It was Tank 316, but Tank 316 was taken. You could tell who the number one wrestler in the world was at that point.
Yes, that's why. I didn't plan that, and that really wasn't part of the story. It was just going to be a funny little aside, and that didn't let me down in any way. Because now in my head, all I see is little preteen Tank Spencer with his Austin 316 shirt, telling people what that meant. Do you remember the Nigerian scammer, which was incredibly popular? Of I am a Nigerian prince. I have many riches that must only be unlocked by you giving me part of it. That will unlock it, and then I will give you half of it.
Yes.
Have you heard the story about Graceland?
No.
Apparently. And this was according to a court filing, Lisa Marie Presley had put Graceland up as a form of collateral on a $3.8 million loan that she needed in 2018. And I promise you I will explain what these two things have to do with each other in just a minute. This has been a big deal for the last week because this Nassau Holdings, it's Nasani Investments and Private Lending, LLC. They claimed they had the right to auction off Graceland because she had defaulted on the loan. Well, we have a resolution to the story. It was the Nigerian prince. It was all a hoax. All of the documents were forged. None of it was real. And we know this because he sent, whoever this person is, he did not name himself, but he sent an email to the New York Times claiming to be a Nigerian identity thief and basically said he did this solely so he could find out how to do it. Because that's what they do. This is a quote from the email. We figure out how to steal. That's what we do. I had fun figuring this one out, and it didn't succeed very well. He went on to explain that the identity ring preys on the dead, the unsuspecting, and the elderly while using birth and death certificates and other personal information to help pull off their schemes. And now I ask you this question. Are these not the worst people on the planet? Like these scheme out the elderly, scheme out the estate of people that have passed on. Is there not a way that we could just, I don't know, have like an island that we send these people? Because to me, there is literally no punishment that is bad enough for you. I've been watching a lot of Chicago PD, and I've been thinking about the docs just entirely too much.
You want to take a couple of people to the train station?
I'm telling you, it's as bad as when I was watching Yellowstone, and it just seemed like everybody that cut me off in traffic, I went, train station. I will guide right now. My wife kept telling me, like, you're worrying me a little bit. I'm in the same boat. I'm telling you, Hank Voigt, he's a bad man.
I look, it just comes with age. The older that you get, the more you go, you know what? Maybe they had it right in the Wild West. Maybe that's the way we should handle crime these days. Just let's shoot it out in the street, and the ones that don't settle it in the streets, we'll just hang them.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, I will tell you, it's a hell of a lot better than what we got going on right now. Hey, you want to do crime? Cool. That's just do it.
Do crime.
Go do crimes. We're not going to enforce anything, so why would you stop?
Yeah, it's very true. We've got a couple of member super chats that we need to get to in the YouTube stream here. Yeah! All right, that one is going to be for Colin, who said 2 years. Let's go. Thanks for everything. Well, thank you for being a fan for 2 years. That's
frankly, we're shocked that anybody sticks around for 2 minutes.
Right.
We figured, honestly, when we started this show, we figured it would be a lot like our escapades in high school. It's going to last about 2 minutes, and you'll be disappointed when you walk away from it.
Our next one comes from Back Satisfied Browns fan who just has used his member chat. Say love you guys. Again, we love you.
We love all of you. And then Colin Green told us that when we go to T-Town for Georgia, Alabama, that his frat is going to bring us some barbecue from their tailgate, which I'm
very nice.
I'm all the way in for.
Yes, I love some good barbecue.
We want to see as many of you at these events. We're going to take some of you with us. We're going to be giving away tickets. That's all tied into the Patreon. We'll be our first fireside chat. We will really explain those things because, on radio, spending 15 minutes to explain this is kind of not necessarily it's not the greatest radio you've ever heard in your life.
Right.
But we have a lot of things that we haven't told you yet. We're slow rolling this on purpose. There is a reason, and all of those things will be uncovered as time goes on.
Yes, indeed. Let's get back to Flostradamus's top picks for the 2025 NFL Draft. We're talking about the best pass rushers in this upcoming class. It's so loaded that we haven't even gotten to, I would say, we got at least 2 more guys that could be pretty decent first-round picks?
Fire the names at me.
One was Abdul Carter.
Abdul Carter I talked about a little bit. I think in terms of sheer pass rusher, he could be the best that's come out of Penn State other than Micah Parsons in the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that I don't know that he's ever going to hold up doing anything else. I'm just not really sure that I care. I love the tape on him. Now, this is another layer of doing this in the summer. Now with no Chop Robinson, which Chop did miss some games, I get to see what you look like as the guy. Now, Penn State will, of course, have another set of young guys that they're going to trot out there.
I was going to say they'll have another guy.
But now you're the one that everybody's got eyes on.
Mm-hmm.
I also can't quite figure out what position he plays. I've seen people range him from everything from linebacker, outside linebacker. At one point, I saw somebody who I think smokes drugs said he would be a safety. That person does recreational crimes.
Okay. I mean, he's a little big for a safety.
I would publicly shame whoever it was if I had taken the time. I had blood coming out of my ears when I read that, and I forgot the name. It was somebody accredited through NFL media, I can tell you that much.
Right. But, I mean, if he's got 4.4 speed.
He is very, very fast.
Then that plays into, hey, maybe he could play a limited joker role for somebody.
The problem with Abdul Carter is that he doesn't have a natural position. Here's my natural position. I have a smart defensive coach, and he's going to be a great weapon to murder quarterbacks. Hey, where's he line up? I don't really care. I'll figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
You're at some point going to want me to mention Harold Perkins. He kind of has the same problem.
Well, no, you said he was going to be he was on your linebacker list. So
he is on the linebacker list. Abdul Carter could honestly have been on the linebacker list as well.
Okay.
But Harold Perkins is so special that he needs to get mentioned anytime I can. He's just another one. Harold Perkins will be next year's Brock Bowers. We all know how good he is.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that you play at positions that's just not that valuable. And so at what point does your unbelievable talent bypass the positional value? Also, could LSU have a defense that could stop a nosebleed next year? That would be sweet. And I think they will. By the way, you want a low-key team to bet on this year? That nobody, I haven't heard a soul bet over wins. Take LSU. Did you hear the story about Lincoln Riley's been trying to get out of that first game with them for 2 years?
No.
He has been begging LSU to get out of that game. They play September 1st.
Mm-hmm.
He's been begging them to get out of that game for 2 years, and they won't let him out.
Wow.
And I'll tell you why. Because LSU is going to hurt your damn feelings over and over and over again for 3 hours. Then people will probably walk away from that and go, hey, that mulleted idiot on the radio told me I should bet on that. Yes.
I was not going to mention Harold Perkins because you had said earlier that he was in your linebacker class, so I wasn't considering him as in the pass rusher class. The other first-round pick I was thinking of was Nick Scourton from Purdue, the guy going from Purdue to Texas A&M. I mean, he was a force in the Big Ten last year.
He was, and I like a lot of what I saw on tape with him. He is real big.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bit of a fear with him that, okay, name me the last play, and I understand it's Mike Elko. I get it's a different era. I get it. And this is where I fall into that Tank Spencer, I'm going to have to see it thing that I make fun of you for, but I then sometimes go, well, you ain't wrong in this situation.
Right.
Name me the last high-end recruit that went to Texas A&M got better.
Good point.
I'm not going to say I wasn't going to mention him because he was – I'm just not really sure what he is. He kind of reminds me of Darius Robinson from last year of I don't know that you can get by with what it is you're doing in the NFL. He's insanely strong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not really sure what position you play because you're really too big to play on the edge. So I start looking at him as like a 3-4 D end, and then I try to figure out, well, where are you going to play him at Texas A&M? And is he going to do that thing that I see guys do? And there's a guy that does this every single year of I'm just so much stronger than you that I'm going to look like a man amongst boys. And every time I watch the tape, I just go, you can't do that in the NFL.
Yeah.
In the NFL, you come up against a Panay Sewell doing that, and he is going to throw you around like a Raggedy Ann doll.
And I might be put off by that, but he was doing it in the Big Ten, right? Big Ten, they've got the linemen.
Mm-hmm.
They've got the linemen, and 42 pressures, 15 tackles for a loss, 10 sacks. Those are crazy numbers.
Mm-hmm. You should also look at who Purdue played.
That's true.
You should also look at who he did that against.
There was some Minnesotas in there.
There are a lot of Minnesotas, Northwesterns,
yeah,
Iowas. There was. It wasn't like he was doing that to Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I'm not trying to do on the guy. I'm really not. You mix in the transfer with I don't know exactly what position you play. And it gets really hard for me to have him over guys that I feel really solid about where they're going to be.
All right. Is there anybody else that you want to mention before we take the break?
Princely Umamalayan. Who I am butchering his last name. I've heard it pronounced about 48 different ways. He was at Florida last year. And he's another guy. I don't know exactly what position you play, but now he's going to Ole Miss. And he had one of the weirdest situations I think I've ever seen. He declared for the draft. He entered the transfer portal. He withdrew from the draft in about 48 hours. So I'm going to say he got a big old bag from Ole Miss. And that's another team I'm looking at going, I'm not telling you they're going to a national title. I'm just looking at that Ole Miss roster going, you've got a lot of talent, and you got rid of one of the biggest headaches I think I've ever seen in Quinshon Judkins. I might have a shekel or two on Ole Miss with over wins, winning the division. There's a lot that goes into that.
Mm-hmm.
I like Ole Miss a lot, and he's a big reason why.
All right, the summer scouting series here, pass rushers in the books. Tomorrow we'll have another batch of summer scouting positions. Hey, we're going to do the flip side tomorrow. We'll do quarterbacks in college, and then we'll do the pass rushers in the NFL. Top 13 pass rushing cores in the NFL tomorrow.
And when you hear the quarterbacks that I'm going to say, you're going to realize how weird this class is. Why we're going to see so many of them, because there's like 14 dudes that could go in the first round, and about 12 of them could go undrafted too.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
With your choice of select, Wendy's $5 biggie bag is
clear.
Thank you.
Nugget wing. Your hot and crispy fried cold pie.
Just like us. We're like the bag boys.
What?
Bag boys.
We're at 30 after this time, too.
What you gonna do when we bring your food?
For a deal you can count on, bet on Biggie and choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Bag boys, bag boys.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes choice of JVC or crispy.
It'll be a minute after.
Soft drink. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
Introducing Tanzite Stone Tile Flooring, a game changer in the tile industry. Say goodbye to the trade-off between durability and easy installation with Tanzite's revolutionary indoor-outdoor stone tile. Visit Tanzite.com to see how our tile is installed without concrete or mortar. Instead, our innovative rubber gasket system connects the tiles together. Each tile coming pre-assembled, you simply grab one and place it. No expertise needed. At Tanzite.com, you can see how our foam back tiles contour to cover any existing floor while insulating against sound and cold. Beautiful and versatile. Tanzite tile adapts to indoor or outdoor use, from kitchens to patios, on concrete basements or wooden decks. All with the durability of stone that's guaranteed for life. Witness this innovative product yourself and order a sample today at Tanzite.com. That's TANZITE.com.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Right now you're thinking, Comparion, never heard of them. We know. We also know that you have no idea that Comparion Insurance agents are local and provide expert advice. So to help it stick, we're going to say local agent 4 times in the next 15 seconds. Ready? Go. Our local agents know you and your community. Our local agents offer insurance from top carriers. Our local agents have minty fresh breath.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com. Comparion Insurance Agency. Local agents, expert advice.
And there's number 4.
At Ingalls, we're proud to work with hundreds of local farms and businesses in the communities we call home. Not only does it ensure that you get top-quality, fresh items for your family table, it's a way for us to support the amazing individuals who pour their heart and soul into delivering the very best they can do. Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Not anticipating any changes with the afternoon package, as sunshine is going to be dominating the next few days, maybe even in through at least the beginning of the upcoming weekend. Today, 75, a gusty breeze and sunny. Tonight, clear near 50. Some of our chillier spots could be in the 40s. Light jacket tomorrow morning. Maybe. Sunshine 75 in the afternoon. Friday, everybody's in the 40s in the morning. Sunshine upper 70s in the afternoon. Saturday, sunny, and the chance of showers and thunderstorms back by Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by ComparionInsurance.com.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the
We'll
next
resume
5
Daily
seconds.
Draft next
Local
week
agent.
when
Local agent.
the
Local
sponsor
agent.
on it attaches.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com.
Right on.
You up for a real challenge? Make-A-Wish Trailblaze Challenge is committed to ensuring that no eligible child waits to experience the hope and joy that a wish brings. Ready to claim your spot? This is a sellout event, so don't wait. www.trailblazechallenge.org.
We come back with breaking news.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, W225CJ Fairview.
We got a spot here.
And
10-4.
Station.
I joke around and with my wife and call it my bionic knee.
But before Ernest became a patient with QC Kinetics, it was a different story.
I'd go to bed with my knee throbbing, heat, ice. I would get up in the middle of the night to get a drink or something, and I would just be hobbling.
He wasn't able to play on his rec basketball team or work in the yard. But QC Kinetics regenerative treatments turned around the situation without surgery or downtime, using Ernest's own healing properties to help restore his aching knee, now known as Ernest Ernest's bionic knee.
I am really happy because I am playing the game that I love so much, and I'm playing with my granddaughter, and I'm gardening, and I'm on my knees, and I'm jumping up. I have a 200-pound dog, and I'm playing with my dog.
Now Ernest is living his best life thanks to QC Kinetic.
15.
Call today for your free consultation.
My bad. I thought that was a 30-second commercial.
864.
Oh, my bad.
3772. That's 864-448-3772. 864-448-3772.
Live from the Ingalls studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the best on see! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons. By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh, my God. The Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, because you don't ever want to miss it when we have breaking news.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
That's right, the only radio show where you get the best dance moves in the world of breaking news. Jeremy Greene, what do we got?
I will say it's a lot more palatable when we're not in the same room, but because I don't get the active flop sweat. But that dry heave put to music is no more palatable to watch from 10 miles away than it was from 10 feet away. Criminal charges have been dropped against world number one golfer Scottie Scheffler.
Shocker.
Who's shocked? All you people that came out and said, oh, I thought you were super pro cop. I am super pro cop. Here's what I'm not. I'm not the way that this went down. And then I hear, oh, the body cam wasn't on. Of course it wasn't. Now Scottie's saying the cop hit him, which I wouldn't go down that path. Let's you know what? Let's all part as friends. Let's all just walk away from this and go, you made some bad decisions. I made some bad decisions. We'll let this whole thing go. By the by.
Yeah, well, there was one particular moment where I saw this. I mean, I never thought that this was. I bought the whole, this is a misunderstanding. I thought, there's no way. There's no way that Scottie Scheffler was inappropriate with a cop at 5 a.m. going to a golf tournament. If this was a different story, like if this story had come out and it was 2 a.m. leaving a bar, then maybe I could go, oh, okay, well, then maybe there's something more to this. But I bought the whole misunderstanding thing from the get-go. But the moment that I knew that this was going to go sideways for the LPD and everybody involved on that side of it was when Scottie Scheffler came back to the golf course in the car with the owner of the golf course.
That was a bad sign.
When the owner of the golf course was the one that got him out of jail and brought him back to the event, you went, oh, God, everybody in that municipal building right now is just puckered tighter than a frog. Like, there's no way that there is a comfortable seat in that house right now.
No.
Because one of the most powerful men in Louisville is livid at this point.
Well, I said from the jump, I had a pretty good idea that I knew what had happened because you and I have been in enough of those situations where things are blocked off. He did not know that there was an active crime scene up there because you couldn't see it from where he was standing or from where his car was sitting. And you had what amounted to be an overzealous cop. And I will say, I had the same moment you did, but my moment was different than yours. When he said, and he ruined my pants, I went, that's good.
Wait, what? I missed that statement.
Oh, yeah. He said, and I can't remember the exact way it's phrased. He destroyed his pants beyond repair. Okay. We are gripping at straws here, bro. Because I have no doubt that it was early in the morning. He saw a flashlight. He went, I'm good. Cop went, no, you're not. And then we got to the chief, and the chief went, come again for Judge Fudge? Could you run that by me one more time, what you just did?
Yeah.
Oh, and Jeff Darlington got video of it on a cell phone? Oh, yeah, this is I believe we will be passing on prosecution, Your Honor.
Yeah. And I told you that day as well. It is an election year, and if that district attorney is up for re-election, there's going to be even more pressure to make this thing we don't want this. We don't want this fight. I want to go. So today, Jefferson County Attorney Mike O'Connell asked for the charges to be dismissed with prejudice, meaning that they cannot be filed again in the future. Said, quote, based upon the totality of the evidence, my office cannot move forward in the prosecution of the charges filed against Mr. Scheffler. Mr. Scheffler's characterization that this was a big misunderstanding is corroborated by the evidence. The evidence we reviewed supports the conclusion that Detective Brian Gillis was concerned for the public safety at the scene when he initiated contact with Mr. Scheffler. However, Mr. Scheffler's actions and the evidence surrounding their exchange during this misunderstanding do not satisfy the elements of any criminal offenses. So no criminal charges for Scotty Scheffler. The ones that were filed at his arrest outside of the PGA Championship have been dropped, and he is free to go.
And now, I never said that Scotty didn't do anything wrong. I said I can tell you exactly how this went because I've seen me do it. Where I went the wrong direction and somebody had to go, hey, dum-dum, this way. I got lucky and had Tank with me for the longest time. Mm-hmm. Me and Mullet Sr. at the Senior Bowl, we wound up in a whole vibe, bro. Because that signage was not that easy to understand, and I started seeing a whole mess of cops and went, now they were sitting there, but I had gone into the cops staging area for security, and they had to look at me and go, no, stupid. You go that way.
Wrong place.
You go that way. And that's usually how that goes. And look, we're very lucky in Asheville. We have, and I'm not, being a kiss keister here. I think we have some of the best cops in the world, and they are awesome when we have events here of going, nah, dog. We listen to your show. We know you're an idiot. We're going to take you by your little snoot and go that way.
They go, excuse me, sir. This one we drew in crayon just for you.
100%. We drew you a map. We did it in crayon, and we put a beer at the end of it. And that should be enough for your dumb self to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Charges dropped against Scotty Scheffler. He did. His attorney did say after the litigation or after today's court proceeding, that they had considered civil litigation against the cop,
and they decided that was a bad idea.
But Scheffler, quote, does not wish to do that. He wants to move on. So that sounds to me like the attorney wanted to. He was like, "Hey, we got a case here. We could win some money." And Scotty went, "You know what? Maybe not."
Scotty Scheffler at that point should have just taken down a piece of paper. Pulled his phone out, looked at his active bank balance, written that balance down, and slid it across and gone, I don't need the money, partner.
Yeah. Or maybe there again, that's just one of those things of the maybe that wasn't even a serious discussion. This is something the lawyer thought to further prove that Scotty was right. Like, we had a case here, just so you know.
Well,
we're not going to do it, but we had a case here. So there's no reason that these charges should not have been dropped.
Well, that's
also the
now
that could have been said.
That's now two of the things I said we weren't going to talk about on this show that we have now talked about. I didn't know Scotty Scheffler was going to have the charges dismissed when this came up. Apparently, when I saw that on Twitter, it was because they had a press conference scheduled for 1:30. Didn't know that. You already hit the one with Mr. De Niro and his opinings. Mm-hmm. So I guess we might as well talk about Bronny James while we're at it.
Oh, dear. Why do we have to?
Oh, I don't want to always stand in the draft. I don't care. I just want to ask a question of which of these three stories is going to piss you off more over the course of the next, I'll go 30 days. Where does Bronny James get drafted? Does he bring his dad wherever he got drafted? Where will his dad sign? Which one of those three is going to annoy you the most? Because I'll go ahead and tell you, mine is one of those gets 95%.
Yes, it's the second option.
Yes.
It's the will they play together story, which, I don't know. Old me, younger me, I guess I should say, Old me doesn't like this narrative. I don't care. Young me would have been all about it because, you could go down the path of, Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr. played together, and wouldn't it be so special, and blah. The fact that I'm not sure that Bronny James even deserves to be in this position.
I am sure that he doesn't.
And I leave that to you. I don't know that to be true, but here's the thing: if his name was Steve James,
if his name was Steve James, he would be going back to Pepperdine for his second year.
Exactly. This guy would be transferring away from USC because I don't think he was that good at USC.
He was awful at USC. And I do now love this narrative of, he's been good in the pre-draft process. He's still a 6'1" point guard who can't direct an offense. If you want to waste a pick on that, more power to you. But if you want to know why I make fun of this sport so often, it's because of things like this. There are certain things that other sports do, and I am not going down a rabbit hole. I'm not doing it. I'll give you a hypothetical. If Tom Brady's son was the number 247 wide receiver at Michigan, there is no path that he was coming out in the draft to be a target for his dad. You know why? Because the NFL doesn't need that nonsense. The NBA does. Because outside of that, you ain't got anything for me to talk about. Mm-hmm. Oh, Luka Doncic. Nobody cares. If you don't believe me, look at the TV ratings. But they're up year over year. Oh, you mean they're doing better than Denver beating the bejesus out of the Lakers? I'm shocked. They're still awful. The pregame show on ESPN for conference or wild card weekend still beats your brains out. So until that's not the case, I don't really care. You can't even get prime spots on ABC, which doesn't have any programming. Their top 7 shows right now are all things that I go, I didn't even know that was still on television outside of the NBA. American Idol, America's Funniest Home Videos, which if you knew that was still a thing, we need to talk.
Is it?
I didn't know it was still a thing.
I thought it was just in reruns.
I do not remember
Bob Saget episodes of that show.
I thought when Bob Saget left that show, I thought that show died.
Oh no, Carlton did it for a while.
I was today years old when I found that out.
Really?
No clue.
I do remember seeing some episodes.
Alfonso Ribeiro?
Yes.
I like him.
I do believe I'm correct on that. I think he did host that show for hell. He may still be hosting.
You could have told me that Elmer Fudd and Kourtney Kardashian hosted that show, and I would have believed it.
I got to look and see if it's even on still.
I was going to go deeper into that, and I chose not to, and I'm really glad I didn't. Every once in a while, I have a joke, and I'm like, I shouldn't say that. But you know what? When the camera turns off and we go to commercial, I'll say it.
Sundays at 7 o'clock, it still comes on.
Who's hosting it?
Alfonso Ribeiro.
Huh.
Yep.
That's a thing I know now. And that's not far. The rating that gets is not far off what the NBA gets on ABC, just to be clear.
Sure.
That's the reason that I said it.
Yeah, I just when every scouting thing I look at says he's not in the top 60 of prospects. The only reason you're doing this is because of what
because it's narrative. Because the NBA draft is all right. This is a rabbit hole I didn't intend to go down, but I'm going to. I did the NBA draft for years. When I became the draft nerd, I was the draft nerd for everything outside of baseball. Because baseball is way too all inclusive for any one person to do. I mean, you got to be all over the country, and it's hard to get access. The NBA and the NFL were my wheelhouse. If I didn't know who Bronny James was, and somebody brought me his USC tape, which, yes, I have analyzed. Didn't take me long to do either. if you brought me that and asked me where should this kid be drafted, and my answer would have been in the 10th round of the G League draft. He's not even close. And the fact that this is the biggest narrative in the NBA right now, as you're going into your finals, it is a microcosm of what is wrong with your sport, and it's just comical to me.
Yeah.
It's just comical. I mean, and I hate to draw this back to a sport that, we talk about pro wrestling probably more than any flagship show in the world. This is like the WWE, AEW thing. WWE makes young stars. AEW just takes old stars and puts them in a new packaging and says, hey, look, this is awesome. There's a reason one of those survives and one of them dies. Same reason WCW died. I get tired of watching Macho Man Hulk Hogan when they're both 60. Mm-hmm. I don't care. I get tired of watching LeBron James and Giannis Antetokounmpo because these young guys drag you. Straight up. Luka Doncic drags you. Milwaukee Bucks. Oh, we won all these games. You got shellacked in the playoffs. Shellacked.
Without Giannis.
No, you would have gotten shellacked with him. You'd still had Damian Lillard, and you got run off the floor. So it loses me. When you don't develop young stars and you're going into a draft where literally a guy that did this draft for a decade couldn't tell you 5 names in it, you're dead. You're dead in the water. You're not developing young stars, and I don't see them coming down the pipeline because those 5-star recruits, they have the chance to play football. They have the chance to play basketball. I can make $1 million as a quarterback, or I can go make $50,000 as a small forward. Which one do you think I'm going to do? And it's the death of your sport. It's been the death of your sport. It's been coming for years. 10 years ago, this Bronny James thing would have been a sideshow, and we'd have laughed about it. And if you don't believe me, just understand Michael Jordan's kid played too. And guess what? He sucked just as bad as Bronny James. We never talked about him going to the combine. We never talked about him going into the NBA.
But were they even comparable talents?
Yes. 100%. They were very comparable talents. One of them was grossly overpromoted because his dad was still playing, and his dad was LeBron. I'm telling you straight up, in terms of player, they weren't that far off.
Wow.
If Bronny James' name was Jeremy Greene, you would have never heard of him, ever. He was the 7th best player on his high school team. Now, he went to
go to a super school?
He did. He went to Sierra Canyon, which is a super school, and they recruit their own players.
Yeah.
Name me an NBA star that was the 7th best player on their own on their high school team. Oak Hill, which has produced players, never got more than 4 on one squad that played active minutes. They did have some young guys on some of those. That Josh Smith team, I remember specifically, had like 11 dudes that played in the NBA.
Right.
Bronny did that as a senior.
Yeah, the Bronny James story irritates me because of that. Because he's not a top prospect, but everybody wants to talk about him like he is because his dad is who he is. Then you add on to the layer of, ooh, they may play together, and I'm Seacrest out. The whole narrative of if you draft my son, I'll come play for you, which is something that we made up. I don't think LeBron he never turned it down. Like when somebody brought it up, he never said, no, I'll never do that.
No, he stoked the flame.
Sure, he did.
And Rich Paul has done the same thing through this whole process.
Cool. That would be a cool idea, right? That was always LeBron's. That would be awesome to be able to play with my son. And if it works, it works.
And you know what? I fought the LeBron Michael thing forever. You want me to tell you the number one? I'll shut this down, and you will never be able to open this door again, ever. Michael Jordan was a basketball player that made himself a brand. LeBron James is a basketball player that made himself a brand and then stopped being a basketball player. It has been since the bubble, since he did anything of any form of relevancy. Anything. Even a threat. They played my team last year. I laughed my keister off at the thought that you were even in the ballpark of this team I've been watching all year. And guess what? You got your brains beat out in 4 games. You're irrelevant. You've been irrelevant. Jordan lasted longer. He was better, and he was better because of the brand of basketball that he played. He made a shoe. The shoe became a brand. Michael Jordan's the winner forever and for always. I don't ever want to hear it again. Yes, I have switched on that quite aggressively.
Oh my gosh. That's great. It's great.
What, did I agree with you now?
No, it's just, I don't know. I feel like you're being a little hyperbolic with LeBron. I mean, yeah, no, he hasn't won titles, but he's still been one of the best players in the league.
Since he came to L.A., was he more of a cultural icon or more of a basketball player?
Oh, he's a cultural icon.
It's not even close.
There's no doubt about it.
It's not even close.
No doubt about it. He's also got 20 years in the league.
I'm well aware of that. Jordan had 20 years in the league, too. Went to the Washington Wizards. He was still fine. The team was awful. And I got news for you. If LeBron James went to a team with no talent, it would look real similar.
Yeah, we saw that. That was the first year in L.A.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
That was the first year in L.A. without Anthony Davis.
You know what? William Workman just said this in the comments. And you know what? I didn't mean to go down this path at all. He said Kobe was better. You know what? I agree with you. I'm officially to the point. I agree with you.
No, I do not.
I do. And I'm not sure it's all that close. When you got on a list of guys, all right, compare me Kyrie Irving and Pau Gasol. I can't wait to hear that one.
What do you mean compare them?
LeBron had Kyrie as his riding mate for one of his titles. He had Dwayne Wade for another one, along with Chris Bosh. I would argue Pau Gasol's the least player in that whole group of guys I just said. That was Kobe's 2. Outside of Shaq, that was his 2. I agree with William Workman. Kobe was better. You know what? No. LeBron's a bum. I'm tired of talking about him. Conversation probation.
Let's talk a Detlef Shrimp. He was better than LeBron
Rick
James.
Smits was a better basketball player than LeBron James.
Now you're just cuckoo banana.
My guy, Robert Horry, he was better than LeBron James, and it's not even close.
Oh, he's got more rings. Rings matter. Stop it.
He also follows me on Instagram. What up, Big Shot Bob? What up, Bob?
It's Michael. It's LeBron, and then we can have the discussion on who's 3. Oh, I mean, we can go Kobe versus Kareem if you want to.
I disagree.
But nobody's in the discussion in the top 2. Nobody.
I disagree.
No, you can disagree, and you can be wrong. It's Michael 1, LeBron 2, and then everybody else is fighting for 3rd.
I always said we would never have this discussion on this show. And I'm proud that it's over. I'm glad that it's over. And it'll never be had again.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is CSPN Asheville.
Hi, we're Comparing Insurance Agency. Right?
Sorry,
never heard of it.
All right, you're 100% sure my mic's off?
No idea that Comparing Insurance Agent?
Yes.
What I was going to say is you could tell me that Bruce and Caitlyn Jenner were the host of America's Funniest Home Videos, and I'd have believed it.
Our local agents know you and your community. Our local agents offer insurance from top carriers. Our local agents have minty fresh breath.
He shows up like half and half.
.com. Comparing insurance.
Half Bruce, half Kate, and then he turns to make all the segues.
I'm already regretting that I even said
outdoors,
that.
But not if your knees, shoulders, backs, or hips are hurting. Don't suffer any longer. Non-surgical.
Are we just going into outside here?
QC Kinetics.
Or outside? Good Lord, I'm 2 hours off. Are we just going into crimes here?
I'm talking lasting joint pain relief.
So we'll be coming back at 28.
I mean,
QC Kinetics.
We could.
Harness your own
I think we might as well.
To restore and repair damaged joint tissue.
We could do crimes and then come back for one last segment.
Play golf and move again.
And we can do that.
QC Kinetics is under the leadership of former orthopedic surgeon Dr. Mitchell Scheinkupp, a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. Their advanced protocols have enabled tens of thousands of patients to reclaim their mobility. Stop putting it off. Take action now and live your best life again. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. Call 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville. That's 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville.
Last season, millions tuned into the Betrayal podcast to hear a shocking story of deception. I'm Andrea Gunning, and now we're sharing an all-new story of betrayal. Justin Rutherford. Doctor, father, family man. It was the perfect cover to hide behind.
I was just like, what in the world is going on?
Listen to Betrayal on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Betrayal and start listening.
At Ingalls, we're proud to work with hundreds of local farms and businesses in the communities we call home. Not only does it ensure that you get top-quality, fresh items for your family table, it's a way for us to support the amazing individuals who pour their heart and soul into delivering the very best they can do. Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's three.
I have one of my favorite crime stories of all time.
Presented by Monster Brewing. Number one. Does it involve a motorcycle?
It does not.
Good.
0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Number two, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from. White Haze, Peach Perfect.
It involves possibly the dumbest and horniest cop of all time.
Three at 6. Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
It is the Sportsocracy live on ESPN Asheville, and it's time for the most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes!
Let's see. We go to, Massachusetts. That's always a good place for lots of crimes and lots of stupid criminals. On Monday afternoon, Memorial Day, a bar called the L Street Tavern in Hampton, Massachusetts, they were having a Memorial Day celebration. In fact, they were doing one of those things that, we like to see at our local pubs. When there's a family in need in the neighborhood, right? What do? We get together, we hold a party, we hold a raffle, something like that.
We pass the boot.
Right. We try to raise money for a struggling family. So there's a family that's stricken, someone in their family is stricken with Alzheimer's, and so they're raising money to try to help them. So they raised nearly $23,000 for this family who needs help. Now, the $23,000 was for a raffle, which was a custom bike. While they were having the festivities on Monday afternoon, somebody came by the bar, took it off the patio, and zoomed off with it. Somebody comes running inside, tells the bartender, somebody stole the bike. They thought they were kidding. Lo and behold, no, they weren't. They called police. Police tried to pursue. Well, they pursued for quite a while. They tried to make a stop, and then the guy sped off and got away. Then they were able to catch up with him later that night after somebody reported there was a motorcycle on the side of the road, and there was a man dealing with a motorcycle issue on the side of the road. They stopped. It turned out to be that guy. The reason he couldn't move anymore was because apparently while he was driving through Rentham, Massachusetts, he hit a deer with a motorcycle.
Karma.
Somehow he survived, but they found bits of deer all in the motorcycle when they took it back.
All right,
so they had to have they had the bike redone. Hopefully they will, they'll get it to the rightful owner of the raffle, and none of the money was stolen from the raffle, so that's good news as well.
And see, this is why I should be a judge, because I would put that feller into a cage with a buck. You got Bambi? Meet Mr. Bambi. He about to mess you up. Don't steal from charities, jerk.
No, not at all.
My story's been a long play, and I first heard of this story in August of 2023, which is when it happened. It's from San Diego, California. It's about a cop. His name's Anthony Hare. He arrested a woman for auto theft. She was in the back seat of his car, and there was body cam footage of the beginning of what I'm going to tell you. And then there was no body cam footage of the rest. But the IA investigation is over, and we are now pretty clear of what happened. Mr. Hare arrests the woman, and from the back seat, she asked him, "Are you married?" Officer asks, "Why are you asking that?" Her response was, "You're not too bad. What's it going to hurt me if I work the system? You know what I mean? That's the way I see ish." Okay, I see what you're trying to do here. It's not going to work vast majority of the time, but let's see where it goes. Ride continues, and then the camera goes blank, but the in-car recorder is still recording. And there are noises that come from the back seat. This was at 1:25 in the morning. At 1:50, Mr. Hare puts out a call to another patrol officer, asking if he had his patrol car key with him. He says, "Yes. Why do you need it?" "I'll tell you when you get here." He shows up to the scene and finds the officer in the back seat with the offender because he has locked himself in the back. Apparently he got in the back. He said he was just checking on her because she was in some kind of emotional distress, which is why you heard the noises on the recorder. There's only one problem. What happens in events like this? They take samples. And now we have samples and we know exactly what happened. And that is Mr. Hare tried to make an arrangement of prayer for leniency and locked his dumb self in the back of his own car. He has resigned from the San Diego Police Department.
Thinking with the wrong head always gets you in trouble.
100%. I don't understand how you fought this for so long. What exactly are you claiming happened, and why did your body camera turn off? He said it turned off when he got out of the back seat. Well, what happened to when you were in it? Why is there no footage of when you were in the back seat there, goober?
Oh, man.
Don't do crimes.
Stupid criminals are everywhere.
Oh,
they will always keep this segment rolling.
Well, some of them drive me absolutely crazy. Just drive me absolutely crazy. While we were on vacation, there's a little store in Tybee Island that we always go to it's a little mom and pop show. It's a stereotypical surf shop. And basically I saw a sign that said, "Please don't steal." And I asked the question of, why? Why is that there? Well, because people steal a lot. And we have a policy that we don't chase them because the police down here ask us not to. Okay. What? Don't steal. You can pay for things. If you need things, pay for them. If you can't pay them, you don't need them. How about that? It's not that hard.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy rolls on right after this. Or not. Maybe now.
This is your Extra Scanner weather forecast on...
You're clear.
One job.
Not anticipating any changes with the afternoon package as sunshine is going to be dominating the next few days, maybe even in through at least the beginning of the upcoming weekend. Today, 75, a gusty breeze and sunny. Tonight, clear near 50. Some of our chillier spots could be in the 40s. Light jacket tomorrow morning. Maybe. Sunshine 75 in the afternoon. Friday, everybody's in the 40s in the morning. Sunshine upper 70s in the afternoon. Saturday, sunny and the chance of showers and thunderstorms back by Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Apple Tree Superstore.
Hurry in now to Apple Tree Acura for deals on the full lineup of 2024 Acuras, including the RDX, MDX, and Integra. Apple Tree Acura is committed to offering you professional service and a great experience.
Hey, the Chargers have signed Alex Leatherwood.
And in person, I-26 and Airport Road, Asheville.
Do what?
I said the Chargers have signed Alex Leatherwood. They couldn't get J.C. Latham, so they got J.C. Latham on Wish. Sweet.
In Western North Carolina, the Carpet Bar takes pride in being a thriving small business in Haywood County. For a wide selection of high-quality flooring and a personalized shopping experience, visit us at the Carpet Barn. Explore our collection today at carpetbarncarolina.com. That's carpetbarncarolina.com.
Mental Health Fitness combines core wellness skills like physical activity, diet, and sleep with core mental health skills, understanding and expressing feelings, coping with stress, and mindfulness. Because mental health is as important as physical health. The Child Mind Institute helps families practice mental health fitness with Healthy Minds, Thriving Kids videos and resources for pre-K through grade 12, and Positive Parenting, Thriving Kids for caregivers. Visit childmind.org for tools to help kids develop into strong, confident adults.
It's not too late for a deep spring cleaning on your home. Give my friends at Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning a call. Right now, mention ESPN Asheville and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129. Book online at zeroresasheville.com.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Ford Hendersonville, and we are excited to kick off the Parks Promise Community Hero Program. This year, we'll be celebrating nonprofits throughout Western North Carolina that live out our core value to do better and be better for the communities that we serve. There are so many organizations doing amazing things, from being a helpful hand to a soft voice or a warm heart to embrace their neighbors. We can't wait to introduce you to our 2024 Parks Promise Community Heroes. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, live at Mullet Manor. Jeremy Greene. I'm Tank Spencer, live here in the Ingles studio. Low prices, love the savings. Ingles sending us on the Living the Dream tour for the 2024 college and NFL football season. We will be hot and heavy, hitting the roads and bringing you closer to all of the action throughout the season and closer to all of the prospects as well in our run-up to the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Hey, now that we don't have Mel Kiper, we might be the premier daily NFL Draft show in the country.
Oh, that's true.
That was sad.
Yeah, I saw they ended the Saturday show.
Yeah, Mel was just, he was done.
With him and Dari.
And I get it. Mel has been doing NFL draft things for a bajillion years. And he is the reason we're all here. Anybody that doesn't like Mel Kiper, you're going to have to explain that to me.
He's the godfather. He is the godfather of NFL draft scouting and coverage, and made it interesting, made us care more about it with all of his coverage with ESPN over the years. And we owe a lot to Mel.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Reading here, apparently Micah Parsons is trending.
Of course he is.
Because he's not showed up for OTAs, and people are getting more and more concerned by that by the moment, because it's, maybe you're not as concerned for Justin Jefferson or T. Higgins. Micah Parsons is the one that I feel like has had more, hints that there's a problem coming with his current team, with the Dallas Cowboys.
There are probably, I would say there are 2 reasons that I more hope that they move the calendar to where we don't do OTAs anymore and we just move training camp to the middle of June.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably 3.
For the contract watch.
I hate these stories. Oh, he didn't show up to voluntary minicamp. Let me ask you a question. If you had a debate with your employer about how much you made, would you show up to the voluntary team picnic? Because I'm going to say you probably wouldn't.
Nah, probably not. I mean, actually, no, I would, because there's free food. I'd be there.
Oh, yeah, I should have known my audience there. I lost Tank at picnic. He was.
When they're like, hey, we got free food. Okay.
So, describe to me the chicken salad situation. Do we have 2, 3 chicken salads? Because I will eat them all.
Right. Is there a chicken salad with grapes in it? Because that could be a deal breaker.
I don't understand people that put grapes in chicken salad.
It's actually pretty good.
It's not. And neither is apples. Okay. Chicken salad's pretty straightforward. Chicken salad. Okay. Stop putting fruits in my salad. All right. I got a chicken salad the other day and it just made me angry because it had grapes and apples in it. I was like, this is
that's
awful.
That's the Cadillac.
And it had nuts in it. Just stop. Stop putting all this crap in it. It's not that hard.
It's got walnuts in it. It's got there's a good Waldorf chicken salad. There's nothing wrong with that.
Gross. Just need chicken, a little celery, whole mess of sauce.
It all depends on what you want to eat it on, right? You're going to eat it on a sandwich, I'd rather not have the grapes. If we're going like little, wheat thins or something, okay. Put the grapes in it. That's a nice little change.
Stop normalizing this. Like Kelvin Joyner said, don't put raisins in potato salad either.
I had to.
Stop
I have to normalize it. I have to normalize it because I have to live with it. It's my wife's favorite. I thought it was weird for years, and I fought it for a long time, and then I finally grew to, actually, you know what? It's really good.
Oh.
It's a nice change every now and then. You just eat like that wonderful rotisserie chicken salad that you can get at the Ingles Deli. Low prices, love the savings.
That's fantastic.
That stuff's good. I can't eat it every day.
I could.
No, I get both of the containers. I get the regular chicken salad to make a sandwich out of, and then I'll get the one with the Waldorf chicken salad.
See, I'm a weird guy. I could eat the same thing every single day, and it would not bother me.
I got to have a little variety every now and then.
I maintain I could have lunch at Taco Bell every single day until my heart gave way. Wouldn't be a problem.
3 days. I'd give you 3 days. You wouldn't make it through the supersize me experiment. Just dead 3 days.
In the chat, they're asking you to blink twice if you're being held against your will, with your raisins and apples and carrots and other nonsense in your chicken salad.
As you get older, you experience more things. You become a little bit more cosmopolitan. You widen your horizons, and you realize that there are other adventures in life. Like my wife, this is the weirdest thing that my wife does that I've had to get used to. I'm still not used to it. I don't like it, but I deal with it. She puts tomatoes in her coleslaw, and that made me want to divorce her as soon as I found out that's what she does.
I don't understand why you would do that.
I don't either. There's no purpose to putting tomatoes in coleslaw.
I'm not averse to it as I'm sitting here thinking about it, but
it doesn't taste that much better. I mean, it's not like, that's just it completely opens up the palate. I don't understand why she does it.
I make tomato mayonnaise.
That could be good.
It sounds strange until you think about it. You're like, tomato sandwich. It's only good if you go Dukes and tomato. So why not just blend them together and make them a spread? And it's awesome.
And it is awesome. All right, new topic on the program. What other weird things do you put in normal things to make them weird?
I honestly think William Workman has the topic of the day. Did Tank just say he was cosmopolitan? Yes, he did. I didn't really know what to do with it. I had a great sarcastic comment, and he cut me off.
Oh, shoot.
Because I have experienced a lot of things in life, many that most listeners of the show would really probably enjoy if they ever got the opportunity, and nobody's ever called me cosmopolitan, ever. Mm-hmm. Nobody's even offered me a cosmopolitan. Just, I'm going back to Office Space here. You get your ass whipped for that where I come from.
Oh, is that Is that what this is? Do I need to explain what cosmopolitan means?
No, we know what it means.
Oh, okay.
We got it. It's just that would be like me saying I was thin. Nope, I'm not at all, or hairless. I can see that you're not.
Okay, I see how it is. Just want to throw shade. I get it. What's that thing I always say about? Oh yeah, I hate you.
I'm easy to hate. I am an easy man to hate.
Yeah. Kelvin Joyner says the man goes to one NFL draft and now he thinks he's an aristocrat. Look, I like to sample the finer things in life.
You sample them.
Elmo's cocktails and what?
Yeah, you sample them. You don't ever buy them. There's a difference. You are the free sample of the finer things in life. And a kill take. Let's go. I literally got him mid-sip as he was. Yeah, and now he's dead. And so now I'll have to do the last 9 minutes of the show by myself. Tank is the free sample table of the finer things in life.
100%. No, nothing funnier or truer has ever come out of your mouth.
You drinking Kool-Aid there? I just noticed that when you almost died.
It's my little Kool-Aid mix. Keeps me hydrated.
William Workman said that Detroit pizza really opened up his world to new things. Did I tell you? I can't believe I haven't told you this. You can get Buddy's Pizza from, was it Goldbelly? That place that ships places to your house?
Really?
Yeah, they'll ship you Buddy's Pizza. And I'm not going to lie, I've looked at it for about 4 days going, I want to do it.
You should.
I want to do it so
you should
bad.
And invite me over.
My wife looked at me and said, you would spend that for pizza. I was like, I'll be honest with you, I would beat somebody to death with a fork right now for Buddy's Pizza.
For that pizza? I'll do it.
That
Absolutely.
is a quality pie.
I still, the pool opened this past weekend. So, we were doing all the, hanging out at the pool over the Memorial Day weekend and cooking out and things like that. And first hot dogs I put on the grill, I went, I got to make that order from the National Coney place.
National Coney also on Goldbelly, just to be clear.
I'm getting some shipped, and we're gonna have a cookout. At some point this summer, we will have a cookout with National Coney dogs.
I'm personally fine with that. They were phenomenal hot dogs.
And as long as y'all don't get too rowdy, I'll invite members of the House of Reprehensibles to come. But
you can come to my house anytime you want to. We'll just go to the bar, which is right down the street from my house.
Yeah. See, it's a little different. You live in a public place.
Yes.
I got to make
yes,
sure
I do.
People, obey the rules at the pool or whatever.
Yeah, I don't have one of those hoas.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't deal with hoas too well.
Yeah, you got to watch out for Emma. She's a stickler. You break the rules, Emma's going to tell you about it.
That was HOA for those of you that didn't understand why I just said that twice.
Yes.
I lived in one of those one time. I figured out in about 8 minutes. They don't like me, and I like them less. You want to tell me what color roof I could put on my house? How about you go falafel yourself? How about that?
Yep. You mentioned the Rams quarterback situation earlier, and I don't know why. Stetson Bennett's back. All the problems are solved. That shouldn't be a question any longer. They have 2 championship quarterbacks again, and that's all well and good.
Oh, yeah. They believe in him so much that they brought in Jimmy Garoppolo just to make sure that 4th-round pick is really kept off the field.
Well, we had to. You had to. No, I was glad to see Stetson back at it, talking to the public. He's been gone for a year for mental health issues. We know what that was all tied to. And hopefully he's getting the help he needs. And hopefully he can be a solid third-string quarterback in this league.
Yeah, he's going to be exactly what he was destined to be. A quarterback that never sees the field in the NFL.
Yes, at least one more year. But you're not are you concerned about the wide receivers at all? The ones that aren't showing up to OTAs?
No.
I
don't care.
Jamar Chase.
Just to be completely honest, there's a reason we don't talk about OTA things here. Oh, Bo Nix lit it up in the OTAs. I couldn't care less if I tried. Of course he did. He's probably 4 years older than everybody playing out there. I mean, it's just If I had $1 for every time somebody lost their mind about a guy in OTAs who was never to be seen or heard from again, I'd be a millionaire.
Sure. You got to build that hype train somewhere.
The Jets have one right now. To listen to Jet fans say it, Jason Brownlee is the second coming of Jamar Chase. The only problem is that I saw him last year, and he wasn't. So unless he found some primordial ooze that turned him into a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, I don't really care all that much.
He's probably not going to be the second coming.
I feel pretty sure of that.
Okay. All right. You know what I hear? Doubt and fear. That's the only thing I hear. I hear the New York Jets are already playing with you and your head.
Oh, they 100% are. Oh, they 100% are. My father called me yesterday and said, did you get Super Bowl tickets yet? Because the Jets are already in it. Like they've.
Oh, God.
And I went, he was being facetious because he's every bit as cynical as I am. He was talking about other Jet fans that are getting duped again. That's Jet fandom in a nutshell.
Yeah, well.
There's only two kinds. There's delusionally hopeful and there's delusionally cynical. I so happen to live in that second tier. And I dip my toe into the first one every once in a while.
And we got to see it in real time last year. And I hope that we don't have to see it again this year.
Me too, because I've booked several trips to see my fighting New York Jets that I really don't want to eat it on the taxes of.
It's all right. You got Tyrod Taylor, right? You got the second best quarterback room in the NFL. So there's nothing to worry about. Even if Aaron Rodgers goes out on the fourth play of the year, you're still a 12-win team.
I said 11. I think they can win 11
games.
games.
Oh, did you say 11? I apologize. I didn't mean to oversell that.
Their schedule's not all that tough, and I think the defense is real good.
I agree. A lot of that follow-up schedule talk, too. There were a lot of people that are like, oh, the Jets have such a tough schedule. They got such a tough draw.
You must have gotten a different schedule than I did because I saw that schedule and went, Roger Goodell found somebody else to pick on. Woohoo!
I think that was Cowherd that I was watching talk about that. Oh, it's a tough draw.
Colin Cowherd, Aaron Rodgers could cure cancer and he would still find a way to complain about what Aaron Rodgers did it with his hat on backwards and he didn't shave today, so it doesn't count. Shut the sorry.
Oh, wow.
I love Colin Cowherd. I do. But there are times that he gets on these like rants about certain people. And it's like, dude, if you don't like the guy, just tell us that. But stop making up this narrative that ain't there of how tough the schedule. It's not there. And I feel the same way. To be honest with you, I felt the same way when he used to harp on Tony Romo. Oh, he wears his hat backwards. And well, so do I. And? You think it makes you better than me? You will fight about it?
There.
Hey, if you could wear your hat backwards and not look like a plant in a high school trying to find drugs, you would. People would see you with your hat on backwards and go, blink twice if you're not here of your own volition.
Oh, yeah. No, I can't pull it off. There's no doubt. Especially the snapback hats. There's nothing there in the middle, so it's just, highlighting my bald forehead.
Oh, yeah.
Not a good look. Not a good look. So.
Well, that's because when they see yours, it just looks like your forehead goes infinitely because you don't have the little poof right there like I do.
Exactly.
So subconsciously, people go, is that Dan Aykroyd from Coneheads?
Striking resemblance. All right, you're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Time for us to get out of here for the day. We will be back with you tomorrow here in the Ingalls studio and live from Mullet Manor at noon on ESPN Asheville. We'll see you then.
If you snore or you have been diagnosed with sleep,
and we're clear.
Thank you.
Breathing adequately at night, and we all need a good night's sleep. A custom oral sleep appliance is perfect for people who can't use a CPAP for their obstructive sleep apnea. And if you have that prescription for an oral appliance from your physician, you can take it to Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry, and they will do the rest. If you've not yet been diagnosed with sleep apnea, and maybe you think you have it, then Dr. Merrill is happy to help you out with a free sleep apnea screening. Find out more online at AshevilleSmiles.com. World-class dental care with a hometown feel.
With more and more people prioritizing their mental health, finding a therapist can often feel difficult and sometimes overwhelming. If you or someone you know is seeking help but facing challenges,
NAMI, the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization, can help. NAMI offers free peer support groups, education programs, and a helpline to support you when the wait seems too long or affordable treatment is difficult to find. You are not alone. Visit NAMI.org for information, resources, and support. NAMI.org.
Elevate your outdoor living space this year using stone. Tanzite has developed stone decking crafted without any plastic composite materials to redefine durability. Visit Tanzite.com to see how stone decking doesn't scratch, stays cooler, isn't slippery, and has all the durability you would expect from stone, which is why it's guaranteed for life. At Tanzite.com, you will see how we developed stone to easily transform any ordinary wood deck. You can even make your deck waterproof for a dry space below. Versatile and adaptable. Tanzite is perfect for decks, stairs, over.
I want to make my deck waterproof.
Visit Tanzite.com to start planning your project.
Not sure how you made that sound weird like that, but you did.
But you did.
Order a sample today to witness the.
I'm going to waterproof this deck.
Stand at Tanzite.com. That's TANZITE.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Ready, down,
So what's Mike McCormick going to be like as a head coach in the
Mike
NFL?
McDonald.
Or Mike McDonald. God, who the hell's Mike McCormick?
That's the real name of the mascot for the Asheville Tourists.
No. His real name is Ted E. Tourist. That's Mr. Moon's real name.
Yeah, if Teddy was evading arrest, his fake ID would say Mike McCormick.
Live from the Ingalls studio. Weekdays.
That is a
noon to
great
3
line.
Do we look like the two dumbest guys in the world to you?
On ESPN Asheville.
With the double entendre of McCormick Field, let's go.
Indeed.
That was quality.
Hi, I'm Belinda Smith. My husband
Radio
Russ and I
genius.
own Briar Hill Farm in Pickens, South Carolina. Ingalls has really brought awareness to locally grown flowers.
I really want to make one out of the Alec Baldwin joke, but I don't think I should.
Purchase local flowers.
I agree.
Customers realize the advantage of local flowers being fresh.
Frankly, I say we let that one sit and hope to God nobody calls us into a corner office about it. Because I will flip on you like the biggest jailhouse rat you've ever seen in your life.
Custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever your team.
I think him and his wife got into an argument or something. He was just taking no prisoners.
Printing, embroidery, engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Not anticipating any changes with the afternoon package as sunshine is going to be dominating the next few days, maybe even in through at least the beginning of the